Hello, my beautiful gemstones. Welcome to Friday night's live intuitive oracle with myself and Ghostdragonzw. As you can see, I got the new Halloween background up and I am incredibly disappointed. It is supposed to be bright, hot, or I wouldn't say hot pink, but like bright, pale pink. And you can't even really tell that it's pink. It is really pretty though. It's got the candelabras, the bats, and then there's all pink pumpkins with black eyes all on the bottom. So so good to see you guys. It's definitely been an interesting week. There's a lot going on. Yeah, so there were so many announcements I had tonight, but I'll just talk about all of it as we go through. Very bad news this morning. So I don't have permission from this person to give their name. But yesterday I was, really, really busy and I really didn't have time to do personals, like, because I have a list of patrons and whoever paid for the month for personals and 2 members per month. So I do now, I would say I'm at like 16 to 18 personals a month that I do. And I do it little by little throughout the month. No big deal. Some people I've been reading for years. I mean, from the minute I started reading. And there's someone that's been with me basically since the beginning of my channel. I think even when I was doing like addiction and recovery stuff, but she's, this person's always so good to me. And she's become like an additional mom to me. So yesterday I just had this nagging in the back of my head that was like, I have to read for this person, I have to read for this person. And I said in the reading, like, your husband's energy is coming up a lot, like a lot. It just keeps coming up. And I feel really just not good. Her husband of 45 years passed away this morning, very suddenly while getting ready for work. And I feel like I missed it and hit me pretty hard. Not that it's about me at all. I'm just saying when I miss things like that, it's usually because like I've never spoken to her husband or read for her husband. So I'm not really connected to his energy. So I don't want to talk too much about that because, again, I do not have her permission to do so. And she's a pretty private person. But if you can just send just some prayers up for the gemstones, it's really sad. And it made me start thinking a lot about my life and gratitude and how you can literally be here 1 minute and gone the next. And I do process death a lot differently than most people, but I understand how obviously it affects a regular person who doesn't communicate with the deceased. So I just want, if she's listening, I love you. And yeah, Miss Pixie, thank you for that, because Miss Pixie said, honey, if you were meant to pick it up, you would have. I think that's exactly what it is. There have been times when I have picked it up and there are times when I don't. And I usually tell people that a lot of the times the reason is because, you're not supposed to have a forewarning about something like that. And if I do get one and give it to you, it's kind of like a bonus, right? That I just happened to pick it up. But I have chills right now, and just, I'm feeling for this woman. She's done so much for me throughout the 4 years I've been on YouTube, and I can't imagine being married to somebody for 45 years. I haven't even been alive that long, and then all of a sudden, they're just gone. So just want her to know I'm praying for her and thinking about her. So, all right, let's get this party started, shall we? Sir Nomeo, you're just ditching us every single week, and it's getting a little ridiculous. I couldn't even say it with a straight face. I'm sorry. I'm only kidding. I hope that you come in and chill for a little bit and at least get a reading. That is what I was going to say. It is Friday the 13th. It's a Friday the 13th stream, and our friendly neighborhood Ghost Dragon's birthday is Sunday. So it's like, no, not Sunday. Yes, it is. Stop confusing me. I thought he was like, it's not Sunday, and I felt bad. So it's our Friday the 13th special. It's Intuitive Oracle, which is special enough And it's Ghost Dragon's birthday on Sunday, so we're celebrating a lot tonight. So I hope that we get through it and have some fun and have some laughs. And Nomio, I was thinking about you last week, actually this week. I guess it would have been throughout the week as I wrote the script for Monday's video, which is you guys loved the trucker encounter so much that I'm doing a part 2. And I know some of y'all, slow motion specifically, you're waiting for me to do the next listener encounters. That's coming next Monday. I'm a week late with it, but it is coming. All right, Miss Lotus Girl. No, don't try too hard. You need to go get your butt some rest. So unless you are listening and typing from bed while also asleep, no, I don't accept you. I don't accept you tonight. You need to get some sleep. Seriously. You're another one I'm very worried about as far as your health. Oh, you go, girl. What did I eat today? Did I eat? I had a bowl of cereal this morning. Latro, hey, yo, hey, yo, hey. Every time you do that, that's what I hear in my head. Hey, yo, hey. Miss Josephine Van Dam, good evening to you, Miss. Good to see you. Miss Pixie, welcome. Salvador Soto, please don't leave. If you want a reading, don't leave without one, please. Who else? I just missed somebody. Oh, Jim. Sir Jim. What's up, Sir Jim? I'm a doctor, not a clairvoyant. Are you actually a doctor? Because your photo, you look like a doctor. Like, you have the energy of just like, I finally got to see what Latro looks like, guys. I know you're so jelly. Mark Halstead, what's up, sweetheart? Candy B, hey girl, good to see you. Kelly Huff, welcome. Life with Bobby. My mother is in the house. Hello, dearest. Good to see you. I'm glad you stopped in. Hang out with us. Don't leave without a reading, Mom. And for those of you who are new, that is my actual mom. I don't know how she got the name Mom out of all the YouTube names. That one wasn't taken, but there she is. That is my mother, my bestie. And Roger Blair and Edna. And all right, let's bring in the Ghost Dragon.
Who? Who's that?
You already hit the button. Because when I put it off, it was like, when I took it off, it was like this, sir.
No, I didn't touch anything. Not me. I'm not allowed. I get in trouble. Hi, Mom. How you doing, Mom? When you
Kelly,
get settled in, I'll call Mom.
Kelly, all you have to do to get on the list is just come in. And then if we called your name and you didn't want one, then we would
or you can let me know as you go.
Yeah. No, she wants to be on the list for sure.
I know.
Kelly, your name. Are we gonna do this all night?
Yes.
Kelly, your name looks very familiar. But if this is your first time in here for a reading, just let us know. I'm only kidding. You can talk. I'm just joking. Just minimally.
You know, it sucks. I have a green shirt on because I know it's your favorite color. And you can't even tell it's green.
Well, that's like this. You can't even. This is like a really beautiful pink color.
Thank you, Kelly, so much.
Starting the night off right. I'm loving it. Loving it. Loving it. Did you guys see? I really do appreciate that. Thank you. The light in the background there.
Yeah, right here. Right there. It's pretty cool. It's huge.
Hey, Tanya. Yes, you absolutely can get a reading. Thank you. So that is the gift that, if you remember last week, I took up a collection for Birth Dragons, Ghost Dragonzw's birthday. That is it. That is what we bought him. So, okay, we have another new person, Tanya Hikes.
Okay.
And, my niece, Angie Girl. What's up, Angie Girl? Angie Girl had a birthday on Tuesday. Yeah, on Tuesday.
Oh, another Virgo.
All right, cool. You did have one other reading. Yeah, because I kind of remembered the name. Because I was thinking Huff Paranormal. Everything always relates back to that, though, doesn't it? All right, cool. Good to see you again. Angie, grandma's in the chat. Your grandma, not mine. All right, let's just get started. Let's just do it.
Okay. Lotus, if she's still here, we can do her or we can go ahead and do Latro.
Let's do Lotus.
I'll write
She's
it down
still
just
here.
in case.
As far as I can see, she's still here. All right. Miss Lotus Girl, I'm using the Lantern Oracle. Did I have this wig last week when I did the stream?
I believe you
I don't
did.
remember. I don't remember.
I'll go look.
I love this one, the balayage. This is called the balayage, by the way. Don't ask me how I knew that. If anyone has to leave early and can't hang out and wait, if you have to leave early for any reason, let me know, okay? Or let us know so that we can try our best to get you in so you don't have to leave without a reading if you wanted one. All right. We try to, you know, please everyone.
Yeah, let me know, please. Also, no, you did not have this week last week. I'm froze. Why am I froze?
I thought I got it on Saturday. Oh, you know what? That reminds me one quick thing. Latro, thank you. Yeah, I really like it. I've been wearing it a lot. Let me just turn off my Wi-Fi on my.
Sorry.
Not you.
Go back.
Let me just turn off my Wi-Fi on my phone. Ooh, Smoochie's here for the party. Watching Van Helsing starring Hugh Jackman. I love Hugh Jackman.
He's such a great Wolverine,
okay.
Too. Yeah, Roger, thank you for telling me. I'll scratch you off the list, sir. Hello, Smoochie. I'm glad you made it through the hurricane.
I think you're just as talkative as me this week, and it's not going to work. Yeah, Smoochie, we were actually very worried. I had someone message me, and they're like, you know, Smoochie's right in the line of the storm. I don't remember. I was at the PTA meeting, so I couldn't reach out, but it's good to see that you're doing well. And yeah. All right, Miss Lotus Girl, it's card number 8, Weeping Wound. You are not your wounds. Healing happens as our wounds receive sufficient attention, treatment, and expression. Wounds stop bleeding once the pain has been known and released. This needs to occur on an emotional, psychological, physical, and spiritual level. Until then, no scar tissue can begin to form, leaving our wounds exposed to infection. The maiden remains a prisoner to her own pain. Her wounds bleed over her potential, voice, perception, and present. She has shown up to support you through a time of safely addressing whatever wounds still bleed over in your life. Perhaps you find yourself in a toxic relationship, being mistreated or taken advantage of by your family, friends, or those in your workplace. Alternatively, it could be that you experience ongoing money issues, challenges with addiction, or never feeling sufficiently acknowledged, heard, and or regarded. Give yourself permission, Lotus, to prioritize tending to whatever outstanding core wounds and false beliefs you have with love and light. Shower your wounded maiden self with compassion. Listen to her without judgment. Validate the tears she cries. Feel with her, access your inherent nurturing and protective mother, guardian, and crone capacity to do this. Assure your wounded maiden self that she is no longer alone with her own pain. Form a support network with a loved one, a safe friend, a healing professional, or a mental health expert, maybe all 4. Allow them to bear witness to your story. Often, expressing the depths of our pain to another frees us to experience life beyond the hurt and the horror of it. To have another bear witness to the injured parts of ourselves has the power to release us from the unbearable pain and heal. Once enough scar tissue has formed, wounds can stop opening up in the present to hurt us all over again. Having drawn this card may also signify a time of being called upon to support someone by bearing witness to their core wounds. Maiden message, you are much more than your wounds. It's never too late to grow beyond them. It's always possible to access the rest of your life without them bleeding over it. We all must feel, express, and release our way through our pain. There are no shortcuts, but once it is thoroughly done, it's done. It is hard work over an intense period that takes you as long as it takes. Once complete, the insights, peace, love, light, and liberation of being on the other side of your wounds will transform you in unimaginable ways. Your once greatest hurt has the potential to become your greatest power if and only if you show up for whatever it takes to complete the process. I can attest to this, right? JJA, what is up? So yeah, I can definitely attest to this, Lotus. As you know, you are one of the people that I do release my stuff on sometimes. I'm dropping cards already, guys. Look out. So I'm getting a little bit more of a message with this one, though. It's not just about really releasing these hurts, habits, hangups, all these things that keep happening. Like you always tell me, and as I see, because I read for you and we talk a lot, it's like one thing after another after another. I feel like you were fully healed of like everything. And then with the last 2 years, with it just being one thing after another, it's like that now there's all of these new wounds. And what the card is saying is to work through them exactly as you did and as you would really any other issues, but you have to make sure that you're like thoroughly working through them. Now, something I'm seeing that's a little bit off card here, Lotus, is like there's only so much time in a day. So right now you're physically not well, your husband's physically not well, you've got a lot of issues going on with like trying to find the right people to work in your business, and you've been having a hard time, so you can only focus on so many things, right? Maybe you can't put all the effort into healing from old wounds as you'd like to. I think the biggest thing you should take away from this card tonight is that at least in the next week or two, you've got to try harder to make it all about you. Not all of the time, but at least sometimes. And I feel like a lot of us struggle with this, definitely. I know I do. I know a lot of us do, because most of us have been taught that that's selfishness, right? Like if you don't give someone your last or give someone the shirt off your back, then you're a selfish person or a bad human being. And I feel like we just take that a lot of the time to this self-harming degree. And Tennille, the main thing here for the next week or two, I do feel like something painful is going to happen. I see your heart hurting, and I don't obviously say this to scare you. I'm not saying it's going to be anything tragic or anything like that. It's just like it's going to be like one of those things that really puts everything else going on in your life into perspective. Angie, she already said hi to you, honey. Grandma doesn't text a lot, but she did text hello to you. I feel like everything else that you've been going through is going to like pale in comparison. And I know you're probably like, oh my gosh, Gemma, what next? Like, what could it possibly be? And I don't see it like that. I see it more as a like, okay, I need to focus on this is going to be like the push that you needed to focus on your physical health. You're not taking time, and I'm going to lecture you a little bit here because it's not me doing it. Your team's doing it, but I'm glad that they are, Tennille, because if you don't take time for your wellness, you will be forced to take time for what? Say it with me. Your illness. Period. You're going to end up in the hospital very, very soon if you don't take a step back, and you're not going to take a step back unless you are forced. Even with the resting you're doing, it's just not enough. And I know your hands are tied. I know everything going on with you, which I'm not going to, put out there. I know it's just like, where do I find an extra 5 minutes even to close my eyes and rest? Well, the universe is going to find it for you in the next 2 weeks. Something's going to happen that is going to make you completely switch gears and shift focus to where it's like, okay, I hear you loud and clear. All right. Like I'm going to do it. I'm going to rest, and, everything else be darned.
Ready? You sure? Okay. That look was enough. Want to do the new person?
Sure.
Let's do, is it Tonya Hikes?
I was saying Tanya.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I took too big of a puff and I got lightheaded for a minute. If you're new here, I'm sorry. I talk a lot. It's just something I do. Tanya, let's do the Halloween Oracle. Nut slap. Yes, only new people.
Slow motion.
You've got to come in with one of those fake mustaches and like the glasses, the incognito glasses. It is Friday the 13th. It's our Friday the 13th stream. It's celebration of Ghostdragonzw's birthday, which is Sunday, and it's Friday. Slow motion. Yeah, no worries. No reason to be sorry. Let us know if you have to leave early. I know you're over there in Ireland. You lucky.
Yeah, I'll slide him in a little sooner.
And I do want to say that I know you're waiting for listener encounters. Your listener encounter is going to be next Monday's video. Candy, yes, you absolutely can have a timestamp tonight. Yes.
Yes, that and that. But I'm not a boy. I'm a little dragon. I identify as a dragon. And I'm going to shut up now.
I identify as a millionaire, but I'm still getting calls from creditors. So, okay, Tanya, you got Lady de los Muertos, acceptance and equality. Are you still here, by the way, Tanya? Guys, if you do have to leave, try to just let me know. I'd appreciate it so I'm not reading for people who aren't here. Behold, Mike J in the house. I'm just waiting for Tanya to answer. Let's give her a minute. I probably scared another one off with my incessant talking.
I mean, she did ask to be put on the list.
Mm-hmm.
She probably didn't think she was going to get on so soon.
I did like it very much, and I can't wait to use it. I fell a little behind because there were so many listener encounters that I had to like go through and, you know, edit them for like smooth reading. All right, I'm going to put Tanya's card aside. Hopefully she comes back in.
That is fine. Go ahead and do Latro.
Latro, let's do deep, dark, and dangerous. Scott M, you sure can. What's up? Good to see you. Thank you, Jim. Jim says if anyone has to leave, he can wait a bit. Yeah, you just got to let us know, guys. Latro, this is all you. The Blue Crossroads deck, deep, dark, and dangerous. You got card number 30. Did you guys catch that? Myrmidon, the discipline card. All right. Oh, and yeah, that'll do it. Anna says, I used to not like Friday the 13th, but Friday the 13th was the day I got off life support. So now I'm cool with it. Friday the 13th is the day my little guy was born. So am I frozen again? Kelly wants to make sure that she's on the list.
She is on the list.
Okay. We were just doing Tanya first because she had never been in here before, but apparently she came in and left. All right. Divine Empathic, what's up, girl? What am I doing? Oh, I was looking in alphabetical order. Okay. Latro, develop or engage your self-discipline. Use your will to get a difficult task completed. Work together as a team. There is a time to go solo and a time to work with others to achieve a goal. Developing self-discipline can also assist with learning and with leadership. Embody the change you wish to see. Among the most powerful fighting forces in the ancient world were the men that fought under the great demigod Achilles at Troy. The other Greeks were said to be amazed at the group of brave, identically dressed soldiers who fought without fear, had incredible discipline, and were as numerous as ants. These men were known as the Myrmidons from the word for ant. There are a number of myths concerning the origin of such men. The most well-known is that they were originally from an island called Aegina, which was named after a lover of Zeus, and so his wife Hera decided to wreak some revenge on the inhabitants. After all, the king of the island was a son of Zeus. Hera sent a plague to kill all of the inhabitants, and she killed almost everyone except for the king and his sons, who had prayed to Zeus for help. Zeus agreed that the king needed people to rule and saw that the island's ants had not been affected with the sickness. Zeus transformed the ants into people, and they were referred to as the Myrmidons. Like ants, these transformed people were fierce, strong, and intensely loyal to each other and their leader. The king's sons, Peleus and Telamon, ended up being exiled from the island by their father, but each took a fighting force of brown armored Myrmidons with them. The first son of Peleus was Achilles, who inherited a fighting force of Myrmidon that he led and fought beside. The combination of the outer worldly strength and speed of Achilles and the efficiency and obedience of his forces made Achilles unbeatable on the beaches of Troy. Sadly, they could not save their leader from being shot in his only vulnerable spot, his heel, and killed. While developing discipline seems an unfashionable process in today's world, there's no doubt that having self-discipline develops character and assists with time management and the achievement of goals. In some ways, paradoxically, developing schedules that guide us enables us to have more freedom and more time, not less. Your plant companion is the peony, and your crystal companion is bronzite. Jarvis. Oh, those were the other two things we were celebrating tonight. So my channel, it's my 4th year on YouTube as of like last Sunday or Monday this week. And we hit 5,000 subscribers yesterday. So that is a huge milestone, because I remember like not even 6 months ago, we had hit 3. So I had that 3 months in the summer where I really couldn't work that often. And I didn't gain as many. I didn't lose any, but I didn't gain as many. Here's to 5,000 more, maybe by the end of the year. Who knows? by my birthday. All right. Latro. So what this card is saying for the next 2 weeks or so for you is you're going to have to get creative. You're going to have to get creative as far as coming up with solutions. Okay. I feel like you, just like so many other people, have a lot going on, and you may be thinking now, or it's coming in the next couple of days, where it's like, okay, how am I going to do all of this? Because if you have 20 things to do and all 20 are of the same level of importance to you, how do you possibly decide to, you know what I mean? Like not do one. If one thing is just as important as the other, and that's for all 20. Thank you so much, guys. Then there's nothing you can put aside and be okay with it. So the universe is saying you're going to have to get creative to get things done. You're going to have to either learn or relearn for this like time in your life how to manage your time. And that may be, you know, working extra hours or working less hours, depending on what you're prioritizing. There is definitely something happening with you though, Latro, in the next couple of weeks where it's like, I just see you like thinking on the fly. Right? Like you have no idea either that this is even going to come up, or you have no idea how you're going to handle something and or someone. But you're like, once it really boils down to it, you're going to have to. So I see you like not really being prepared. The universe is saying that's okay. Like it's all right to not be prepared. It's okay to think on the fly, at least in the next couple of weeks, and at least pertaining to one very, very important situation where I feel like you may be very uncomfortable not having a plan. But I got to be honest, if this is like something like, just say some big deal contract at work, right? Or a big deal decision at work that could like make or break your career, I feel like you're going to have it all planned out. And then in the moment, you're just going to like fly by the seat of your pants. I don't know if you're doing it for the excitement or if because like suddenly your big plan doesn't seem adequate enough or whatever. The universe is telling you it's all right to think on the fly. Make sure though that you incorporate like other people. You utilize the tools you have in other people when going forward as to how to approach this. Kelly, you are so sweet. Thank you so much. You've just been like, all of you always are, but for someone so new to just be so sweet and supportive, like I love it. Thank you so much.
Yay.
Yes, Latro, you do. Latro says lots to do, big changes, spot on, no worries, I got this. Amazing. Yes, you do.
Yeah, he's a doctor out of mechanics. He's a mechanic, I think. Aren't you a mechanic? Because he was working on a food truck not too long ago. Anyways, go ahead and do Josephine. Josephine, it's your turn.
So then thinking on the fly comes naturally, right?
Yep.
Like Ghost, you know that because Pop was
Yep.
is a mechanic or was a mechanic.
Yep.
And I know that because my husband's a mechanic. Like thinking on the fly is kind of something mechanics do.
Yep.
That's why yep, I got this. Typing blind. That's probably the real reason my mom doesn't type back to you guys. She doesn't feel like wearing her glasses, or they're on her head or around her neck, and she doesn't know where they are. I see you, Josephine. Nice.
You're a drag researcher. Oh, that's right. You told me that.
Mechanics are essential workers. Ain't no shame in that game.
Nope. Not at all.
All right, Miss Josephine, let's see what we got. Goddess power. Okay, you got Kuan Yin. She's one of my favorites. She's the goddess of compassion. You got it in the upright. Can someone summon Blue Crossroads like Beetlejuice? Thanks. All right, Josephine, compassion is what's needed right now to help you release perfectionism and defensiveness. The purpose of compassion is to help reduce suffering in the world, so be mindful not to judge yourself or others too harshly as you stumble through life's obstacle course. In fact, tuning into the energy of compassion and kindness almost instantly eradicates the stirred up energy of controlling thoughts and knee-jerk behaviors. The Chinese goddess of compassion, Kuan Yin, gently nudges you to ask yourself this question: what would kindness do in this situation? I like that. If you approach everything with that in mind, you'll discover solutions and new paths unfolding before you. In fact, living with compassion as your guide really changes everything, right down to the products you buy and the food you eat. So thank you, Miss Smoochie. Yes, slow motion. Absolutely, they do. Yeah, I have tried to find my cell phone while using my cell phone as a flashlight. And I recently saw a meme of somebody talking about that. And I was like, oh, I'm not the only one who's ever done that. All right, Josephine. So I do feel like you are now, and we've talked about this over the past year, 2 years, however long I've been reading for you in this stream, where it's like, okay, you have now been pushed beyond your capacity to be able to tolerate anymore. I feel like you've tried everything you could possibly think of to either move on or move away, separate your energy from a person or a situation, some sort of relationship or situationship here. And the universe is reminding you in the next couple of weeks, Josephine, not to allow anybody to pull you outside of yourself, to force you to step outside of your own energy, right? So everyone struggles with this from time to time. So it's no judgment or indictment on you. It's just like, don't allow someone else's bad behavior towards you, abuse, manipulation, gaslighting, even just rudeness, to make you become that way, right? So if you're vibrating higher than someone, and this doesn't mean you're better than them, it just means your energy is vibrating on a higher level, right? The only way that that person can speak to you is if they pull you down to their level, because you can't snap your fingers and vibrate high, but you can snap your fingers and go real low, right? So don't literally don't energetically stoop to someone lower than you or energetically lower than you's level, particularly in the next couple of weeks. Have compassion. So I'm going to use narcissists for an example. What I try to do to the very best of my ability, and Lord knows it's hard, is to remember that they are very sick. They are sick in the head. So what do I look like arguing with someone who I know is sick in the head? What do I look like, allowing someone who is mentally unstable or mentally ill in the worst possible way to let them get under my skin or take me off my game or stop me from my bag, right? Josephine, I feel like that is what's happening. You are at risk for kind of undoing a lot of the healing that you've done, and like the work that you've done on yourself in the past couple of years, because somebody has finally gotten you to a point where, but here's the thing, instead of snapping at them, being discompassionate, being unkind, matching their low vibrating energy, just get away from them. And if it's something like, it's a boss or a coworker and you can't just get away from them, what are you waiting for? Because we've been talking about this for like a year. Again, no judgment, no indictment. I'm the queen of, sticking around until things turn violent. But at some point you have to put your foot down and say enough is enough. I do not feel like me when I'm around this person. I can't be myself in this relationship. I can't express myself the way I want and or need to at this job. I don't want to be bullied. Whatever the case may be, Josephine, don't stoop to their level. Don't be discompassionate or unkind, but also stop dealing with them. And if it's someone, again, that you live with and you can't just, get away from right away, or if there's, a complicated situation around this situation where you can't just leave, then start detaching your energy. Start forcing yourself not to care. There are so many exercises you could do to energetically detach from someone you're physically in proximity to, right? Someone you live with, for example, say that you're an empath and you live with a narcissistic abuser, and you can't just leave sometimes, there are ways that you can detach your energy from that person. And I would suggest you looking into that. Cliff Clark, welcome. Sandra Heath, welcome. Don't forget about Mom, GD. Dimensional Legend, God. He said, hello, I just got here. Well, hello and welcome. Good to see you. And yeah, welcome to the island of misfit toys.
Go ahead and do Mom. And then we'll do Miss Pixie, if that's all right with Miss Pixie, which I'm sure it will be. And again, hello, Mom. I will call you once you get settled in. Hello, Dimensional, and welcome.
All right, Mom, I'm going to use Oracle of Shadows and Light. Some new names tonight. So glad to see them. And some returning names that is so amazing. Thank you so much for the support, everyone. To the legend, yes. Like I said, guys, we do have a gemstone who I'm not going to name by name right now because I don't have her permission, who suddenly lost her husband of 45 years this morning. He was getting ready for work and he's no longer with us. So if we could just put some just positive light and energy, more so than usual, out into the world and towards the gemstones, I'd really appreciate it. Pamela, welcome. All right, I'm reading for my mom now, so let's see what's up. Carnivorous Flower Fairy. Sounds lovely, Mom. I'm going to get you one as a housewarming gift. Slow motion, I didn't see what your news was, but I'll go back and look. A tempting offer has a high price. Mom, there's something you're hiding here. That's weird. Let's see what this is all about. Card number 38. Thank you. Your energy isn't working yet. I think it is if you were pulled in here, because you don't find this stream by accident. And I'm not saying that because it's my stream. You can ask anyone in here. It's just people find this stream and they're like, this is exactly what I needed. Or, oh, I know why I stumbled in here. You'll get there. If you want a reading, just let us know. Or actually, if you don't want one, let us know, because you go on the list regardless. Mom, pay attention. When this card shows up in a reading, look carefully at someone or at a certain situation around you. Her beauty tempts people in, but the purpose of the flowers is to devour, making it difficult for you to escape unharmed. You may have been told such situations are wonderful agents of change and growth, but the truth is that you do not need to learn this lesson again. The plants in the beautiful yet faintly macabre image represent someone or something that is attractive but dangerous. This doesn't have to mean physically attractive, by the way. Watch for people who consume more than they give, people who bully and swallow others, who argue you out of your beliefs, ignore you, or constantly seek your approval and praise, and then grow hostile when you no longer feel like giving it. If you are appeasing another instead of having an equal relationship, or if you are fearful of being consumed by an environment that is toxic yet seductive, it may be that the carnivorous flower fairy has come forth to show you clearly what and or who you need to avoid. Okay, Ghost, can you write down the topic that Mike just said so I can look into it? Because I'm going to do the either 13, 10, or 7 nights of Halloween. The carnivorous flower fairy speaks. Am I not beautiful? Wouldn't you like to come a little closer? I'm sure you will appreciate my beauty once you are able to see me properly. And no, of course, I won't hurt you. I am just, after all, a girl. I may look like an innocent girl holding a bouquet of flowers, and I am, but my nature is to devour, as is theirs. And so, before you decide to step closer to me and to work with this energy, know that you may be meeting a dream eater, one who consumes, who takes, who delights in watching the predatory actions of others, who dominates, controls, criticizes, and judges. I will eat when I can. I will eat what I can, and I will eat what comes near me. It's my nature. And although some may promise you they won't, if it's their nature to do such things, it's inevitable that they will do them. Don't forget who they are, and don't try to make them what they are not, or change and save them with your love. They will eat you, and they'll delight in doing so. You may observe someone speaking cruelly about others, sending out toxic energy, seemingly to feel extremely entitled to money, fame, life force, and attention, but they're unable to create it by themselves. Mom, they treat themselves rather like royalty, and as if others are servants whose purpose is merely to fulfill their wishes. They can be charming and cunning because they do want you to do something for them. They spend a lot of their time trying to feed off of others, and if you deny them this, they become really angry. They're narcissistic. They see you as nothing but a source, a way of getting something. This is sad, but even sadder if you allow yourself to be their victim. This could indicate either a person, a workplace, a belief system that's demanding, all-consuming, or almost cult-like in its practices and ethics. Whatever and whomever the carnivorous flower fairy represents, it is a dangerous alliance to contemplate. Do not get too close. Observe and learn if you must. Don't become an experiment. They will bite you, and they will try to take from you. It's in their very nature. Mom. So this is talking about becoming or getting too close to someone or something that you already know better. So this could be like reconnecting with someone or spending more time with someone. There's this toxic energy. It could be someone that you're about to meet as well, because you just moved to like a new area. Maybe just be really, really careful being around people, even if you don't know them. So if you know them, then you may be tempted to be like, no, they've changed. I can't imagine who this could be, but it's like, no, they've changed. We're good now. And then as soon as you let your guard down, the same exact thing that you were worried about in the first place happens. Or it could be someone you meet somehow where it's like they're offering you something or offering to help you with something, and you will immediately get a feeling of just like the energy not matching. Like you'll feel uncomfortable or awkward, or there will be at the very least something in the back of your head going, don't take anything from this person. Don't give this person anything. Don't, make sure that in the next week or two, you listen to that, whether it's, again, somebody you already know, somebody you've known forever, somebody you just met, or somebody you're about to meet that you'll meet in the next couple of weeks. I feel like in the next few weeks, it's better to kind of just go with your energy. So if something feels off, it is. If someone feels off, they are, right? Don't let anyone fool you into thinking that they've changed when really they're just showing you this new side of themselves because it's what they think you want to see. And then again, eventually the mask will always slip. And then you're going to be in a situation where it's like, okay, now what do I do? Because I've gotten myself in this situation again, or something like that. I have no idea what that could possibly be about, Mom. But I don't know. I just feel like there's a very manipulative, sneaky person around you that's trying to convince you that they're not who you know them to be. Who's next?
Miss Pixie. And I'm going to start sliding in some of the new people too.
All right, cool. I have that song, believe it or not. It's because of YouTube Shorts by Willow Smith in my head. The song, wait a minute. I think I lost my consciousness in the 5th dimension. But I'm here right now. Oh, wow. You are more than welcome, Miss Lotus. So what are you doing? You're supposed to be sleeping. What's going on? No, I hear you. I just don't want to see anything happen to you. And your energy is, I mean, if an average person is like here, you're down here lower than this, or you can't even see, and you've been there for long enough that I'm afraid you're going to hit the floor, either literally or just figuratively. Yeah, Mom, that was weird. I don't know, but it's like someone who's convinced you they're not some way is about to prove to you that they are that way. I have no idea. Uh, 1 a.m. Eastern, JJ?
He's across the sea. So, JJ, I can't fit you in, sir. You
Just
and
fit him in.
Slumber are going to come in here real soon because he's across the big ocean too. The
Because
pond.
everyone just wants to be super like, no, just do it. Don't even ask. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm using ancestor spirit, Miss Pixie. You got upskill. Yeah, energetically, not as a human being. Work, career, and crossroads. So crossroads definitely sticks out at me because I feel like this is something that's been continuously coming up in your readings. Laura, you are stuck at a crossroads and more information or education is the way forward. Upskilling or studying may be the solution to a career or finance issue. It's time for a change. Empowering yourself with new skills and knowledge will help you direct that change. You are ready to make a positive shift, but may have been underestimating your ability to study or master something new. You do not necessarily need to do formal study at a college or a university. Doing a short course, attending a seminar, or completing a weekend workshop might be a good place for you to start. Be courageous and disciplined like the ancient Greek warriors. Do not settle for a job or career that does not suit you. Ask yourself how you could stimulate your career progress and increase your opportunities. Be honest with yourself about what you could improve and take steps toward achieving what you want in your career. Now is the perfect time for you to go forward and make these changes. Yeah, Dimensional Legend, there's tons of different cards. I have 250 Oracle decks alone, and there's hundreds on my wish list. So definitely. Miss Pixie, I'm not really seeing this as like, your career, but I do feel like it's something that you really have been giving a lot of thought to maybe advancing in. Right. So maybe it's something that started out as like a little hobby or just something you like to do, in your free time or here and there. But I feel like lately it's becoming more a part of you, whatever it is. And I feel like this has been actually for a while. So this is not new information, but it's like now in the last few weeks or maybe a couple months now, you've been taking it a little more seriously and maybe allowing yourself to dare to think into the future of like, if I continue doing this as a hobby, is there any way I can make some money on it? Or is there any way I could turn it into a career? Would I want to do that? Asking yourself these types of questions. I feel like whatever this is, you either did or are about to decide that this is something you want to pursue going forward. And the universe is saying, pursue it all day long, pursue it all you like. It's definitely not a bad idea at all. And more so I'm seeing it's something that you should do. But what I am seeing is like, whatever this is, it's like super competitive, even if it's not like, competitive, like you're keeping score or whatever. It is a competitive market or a competitive area that you've gotten yourself into. And if you don't know that, you'll soon find that out. So it's like, what's going to make you stand out? And the universe, your team is telling you, like, gather more information, learn how to do something better or keep trying to do better. I feel like you might already know what this is about. Yeah, don't know which path at all. It's like once you start learning more about each individual choice, I feel like you'll be pulled in a certain direction. So don't give up, like don't stop. Definitely don't get like discouraged. I feel like you're getting a few different options because the universe wants you to try a few different things, but then once you hone in and focus in on that one thing, it's just going to take off for you as long as you stay the course and don't start worrying like, oh, should I have done something else? Or and because it's going to be a slow process, but you definitely will get there, because I do feel like this is something you were meant to do. Michigan, UFO sightings and paranormal encounters. What is up? That's Wayne and Michelle, by the way. Probably Wayne. Michelle had a birthday last week. Who's next?
All us lovely Virgos. Salvador.
Sir Salvador. I'm going to use wisdom of the House of Night.
They are both here.
Okay, Miss Tanya, just after this one, I put your card to the side. I did pull a card for you. So let me read for Salvador, and then I'll read yours as well real quick. We all kind of went out at the same time. Or not all of us, but like a few of us went out at the same time, myself included, for a minute. So no worries. I thought I scared you off with my rambling, so I just put your card to the side. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Miss Pixie. Thank you very much. All right, Salvador, you got trapped. Read from card number 34. My dear sweet child, do you feel as if you are trapped in your own life right now? Do you sense that you cannot do what you really want to do because others have expectations of you that you may not be able to fulfill? Do you feel as though you will never get what you want or go where you're going? Have patience, for truly you are in a temporary prison that exists in your mind. Your circumstances, no matter what they are, will change, and you will be free to experience the life you wish to lead. In these times, dreaming is the best antidote, and of course, patience. Consider the story of the half-raven boy, trapped in conflict until he finally follows his heart. Trust in me, for I will show you when the cage doors open so that you can fly free. So Salvador, he said, yes, I'm here. This doesn't mean you feel like a prisoner in your life. Sometimes this card does mean that for some people, but for you, I just feel like there is one, hello, Autumn Moonlight. There is one particular area in the next couple of weeks, and possibly in the past few weeks as well, where you've been feeling kind of like, I don't want to do this anymore, or I don't want to be a part of this anymore, or maybe I don't want to contribute to this anymore. You want to remove your energy in some way, shape, or form from what and or whoever this is. But the problem is, it's like, if it were just up to you, you would do it, no problem. But I feel like you feel like it's not just up to you, even though it is. Does that make sense? Raymond, what is up? So let me give you an example. Say that you're a doctor. You've been a doctor for like 25 years. You no longer want to do that. It wasn't what you wanted to do to begin with. You were a doctor because your parents wanted you to be a doctor. This is a silly Gemma example, but it is what it is. Best way to explain it. You would have no problem with like giving your 2 weeks notice tomorrow, but you're worried about how your parents are going to feel about it. So whatever this is, either you want to start doing something new or stop doing something you're already doing. It could be literally anything, Salvador. Take it as it resonates. The universe is saying, okay, so yes, some people might be upset. And yes, some people might be angry even. Some people might even not want to talk to you anymore, but mind over matter. Those who mind don't matter. Those who matter don't mind. If you are not living your life the best way you can for you and your happiness, then what are you living your life for? Right? And who? And are they living their life for you? Nobody should be living their life for anyone else, not in its entirety. You should be the only one in control of your own decisions, right? And yes, we have a soul's purpose. Every one of us has our own purpose and reason why we're here. But that doesn't mean we can't seek happiness, seek out happiness, no matter what it is we're doing, and try to have the happiest, best, most fulfilling and fulfilled lives possible while we're here. So don't let someone talk you out of something you don't want to do into something you do want to do. And don't consider anyone over yourself when it comes to starting or ending something in the next couple of weeks. That is the simplest way I could break that message down in your case, Salvador. All right, Miss Tanya, I did pull this on camera. You just weren't here. It's Lady de los Muertos, and it's from the Halloween deck. Acceptance and equality. Tanya, the iconic Lady of Death with a pale skull-like face, zombie eyes, and rich red funeral flowers in her hair, has become one of the most recognizable symbols of Halloween and the Mexican Day of the Dead, El Dia de los Muertos. The original model for this flamboyant Lady of Death can be traced back to the ancient Aztec goddess Mictacilatl. As time went on, the figure remained balanced between beauty and horror and morphed into the Lady of the Dead and eventually into the more modern graphic figure of Katrina. It is also reported that the identity of the original Katrina was based on women who were very rich and had everything they wanted in this life, yet death takes everyone equally. So it was a reminder that no matter how beautiful, rich, popular, or famous you were, in the end, death will take you. It takes us all. The Mexican culture has a long-standing history of laughing at death and seeing it as just another aspect of life. In some ways, death is the last taboo in many Western cultures. We tend to hide away our dying, and some of us may never even see the body of someone who has passed in our whole lives. But this was a much more common occurrence in the past. Acknowledging that death is a natural process that will enter everyone's life at some time, and that perhaps until then we can choose to be life-affirming, takes away a lot of the fear. Take a light approach to a situation initially, and it might work out better for you. If you're holding on to something that does not serve you any longer, in particular something material or material things, simplify and let them go. So, Tanya, okay. The main thing that I'm seeing here is like, this isn't death, like as in someone's going to pass, right? This is death as in, this is death as in a major, major change that I feel like you've been resisting for a really long time. The universe is saying, you can resist this change all you want. You can refuse to contribute to moving forward with whatever this is. But the fact of the matter is, not making a decision and like continuously procrastinating is making a decision, right? So if you don't make a decision, eventually one will be made for you. And the universe, when the universe and your team, when those entities and elements have to make your decisions for you, it's normally not a good thing. So you'll have to go through the same exact thing over again, you know, in some other way, but dealing with the same type of situation, the same type of people or person, until you can prove to the universe and to your team that you've learned the necessary lessons to be able to move on from this lesson. In the next couple of weeks, Tanya, I would say embrace change as best you can. The problem that I think you're going to have is that this, from first glance, is not going to look like a good change. It's like, you know, something like, for example, I'm not saying you're going to lose your job. I'm just using it as an example. Like you lose your job randomly and suddenly. And it's like, okay, great. Now I'm going to lose everything because I have no income coming in and XYZ and all these worries that come along with something like that. But what you don't know is that 2 weeks from the time you lose your job, it's like you're going to be offered something that pays you double that you never would have been able to accept while you were under contract with the original job. The universe is causing these major changes that seem like they're very, very destructive, very negative in your life. One, to see how you handle and deal with them. And two, to see if you trust the process. Will you take these necessary leaps of faith? And, you know, cutting out people, places, and things that no longer serve you, where those the energy fields that those people, places, and things took up in your life, that's where the universe will be able to move and like bring in new people, new opportunities. So there's something in the next couple of weeks or something that just happened that's going to seem like it's just really bad. Like you might think like, how am I going to deal with this? I'm going to tell you how to deal with whatever it is, right? Go with the flow. Cry if you need to cry, rage if you need to rage a little bit. But at the end of the day, keep telling yourself the universe has a plan, and the universe works on an eternal timeline, not the Gregorian calendar that we've created. So the universe has a plan. That's why things change sometimes so drastically and dramatically, and sometimes to such a negative, seemingly negative degree. It's so that bigger and better people, places, and things can come in. Just keep telling yourself that this is for, you know, a plan that's bigger than you. It's thinking on an eternal level, thinking of the eternal timeline, and just accepting it to the best of your human ability that things are going to be okay no matter how dire they look, and that with you, for you specifically in the next couple of weeks, something amazing is coming in that never would have been able to even cross your path had this big major negative seeming change happened recently in the next couple weeks, in the past 2 weeks, around there. Who's next? I'm trying to go a little quicker because I know we have more people than usual tonight. So
Jim is next. He's been here before. It used to be under Jim's cameras, right?
Jim's camera at dawn.
Yep. How you doing, sir? I hope you're having a good week.
Jim, I'm going to use the Urban Crow Oracle. The universe is not a nice person. That's not true. They're just seemingly not a nice thing. The moon is waxing. Let the power of good prevail. Absolutely. Absolutely. Positively. He probably doesn't, but can't show that on YouTube. I stopped doing that because one time I was live streaming with Steve Stockton and I forgot and I stood up.
I remember that.
And then we managed to not put that stream up, and he kept talking about it and talking about it and talking about it.
I know.
And you laugh, but there's a reason everyone thinks that, because sometimes he just doesn't have them on because you can only see from here up. No. Underwear. All right. Now that we somehow made it here, Jim, you got card number 3, the card of anticipation. No, slow motion. Don't say that. Is this a human best friend? I mean, either way, there's nothing I can say to you that's going to talk you out of grief. And you should grieve, but just understand that they were meant for this to happen to them. And if they've lived life well, even if they didn't, they're still going to be with you. Wayne, if you want a reading, don't leave until you get one.
I'm sorry, before you start, I think they sent a PayPal to you.
They who?
Michelle and Wayne.
Oh, okay. I'll see it after stream because I don't want to get up and get my phone. But if you guys did, thank you so very much. I do appreciate it. It means the world to me, especially now. The only thing I have left to do for Power Unity is pay for my room. All right, Jim, anticipation. Each morning when I wake up, there is a crow outside of my window on the street lamp anticipating the arrival of its meal. Perhaps I trained the crow, or maybe it was the other way around. When there is a pattern, we begin to expect a particular outcome. Anticipation brings hope and butterflies in the belly as we expect something to happen that brings joy or satisfaction. There is but one warning. Be careful of any attachments held for the desired outcome. If what you receive falls short of expectations, Jim, the feeling of joy can transform into disappointment. What are you looking forward to at this moment, and how will you adjust if your expectations are not met? Here's the thing. I don't really think you have to answer those questions because I do feel like whatever you're looking forward to is going to happen, but I don't think your expectations are going to be met. I think they're going to be exceeded. But just like what I just said to Tanya, it's like what you're expecting is not how it's going to look. And I do feel like this has something to do with something that you are currently expecting, right? And I feel like the reason you're expecting whatever this is, this could actually, that's weird. The way I'm seeing it is could actually be a pleasant surprise. Like you're not expecting much from something or much from someone because that's all the situation or person ever deliver. But it turns out that something's changed. But it could also be the other way around where you're expecting, hold on, I'm getting something. You're expecting things to kind of stay the same and stay on an even keel in some area of your life. And the fact of the matter is, if there are other people involved, nothing is ever going to stay exactly the same because people have different energy and they have different things that they want to do and want to achieve. And they have different ways of thinking and feeling and coming and going. Wow. That's not bad luck like a lot of people, my mom thinks it is. It's actually not. So yeah, I feel like in the next couple of weeks, Jim, be careful not to have too high of an expectation of anything or anyone. I feel like even if you've been able to in the past, again, whoever this is revolving around or whatever, like something's changed and you're going to have to adapt and get used to that change. And if that's something you don't think you can do, then going forward, you may have to kind of remove yourself from what and or whoever this is. I feel like you have very high expectations of something because you've always been able to. But something here has changed and the universe is saying, this is a lesson where it's like, if you didn't have any expectations to begin with, then you never would have been disappointed, right? And I know that sounds like it's like blaming you. We're as humans, we can't help but have expectations. But I do feel like in the next couple of weeks, you're going to be sorely disappointed by someone or something or both. And, obviously it's not going to feel good, but I feel like, hopefully you'll think back to this reading and understand that when something or someone is no longer for us, it sucks. It could hurt really bad in the moment or, whatever. But the universe is always doing things for us, never to us. So it will always replace or at least put the opportunity of a better replacement in. Now, if say, you're always in a toxic relationship where there's like abuse on the other person's end towards you, and you're always having to put up with this no matter what, it's like same person, same behaviors, different person. And then like you just expect that now. You could be pleasantly surprised, or you have to ask yourself, why do I keep drawing in this same energy, right? I'm getting a little bit off course, but that usually happens for a reason as well. So just don't have too high expectations of anything or anyone in the next couple of weeks. I do see a disappointment, but I feel like, just like I said with Tanya, in the long run, the disappointment, you're going to look back and be like, wow, if that didn't disappoint me in that way, if that disappointing thing never happened, this beautiful, amazing thing never would have happened.
Okay, before I give you a name, after these next two, our friends from across the pond, I'm going to go back to the list for a little bit. New folks, do not lose hope. I have you marked, and I'll start sliding you in, and that would be Scott M., because he fell asleep last time, Dimensional, Pamela, and Autumn Night. And I'm going to put your cousin and her other half together too. Angie, niece, whoever. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Her other half?
Angie and Cliff.
Cliff, I knew that name.
Yes.
I was going to say that, but if I was wrong, then it would have been weird. You know what I mean? Then her actual other half would have been like, dude, who's Cliff?
So right now, do slow motion. Then after that, you're going to do JJ, then Mark. We're going to do a little bit of list, and I'll start sliding new people in.
All right, no biggies. Slow motion. I'm going to use this interesting new deck I got called Rainbow Brain Skull. Yeah, I swear, Angie, when I saw the name Cliff, I thought that, but I was like, if I say that and I'm wrong, that's going to be a bad look. Sometimes that's what we do, slow motion, and I can't tell you. Oh, thank you, Jim. Gemma is right on as usual. We all handle things different, right? And I'm not going to tell you not to grieve or not to mourn, because that is the normal process of dealing with something like that. But what I will tell you is that your best friend, you're just physically not going to be able to see them. And they actually will probably be with you more than they were while they were here, if that's any comfort. I know it probably isn't, but I don't handle death well because of, who I am. I was just talking to Stephen about this backstage before the stream. Like, I always get very nervous because I don't know what to say to people, other than, grieve and mourn in your own way and in your own time. And don't let anyone tell you that, you're wrong for that, or you're doing it wrong, or anything like that. No, I've never played poker with tarot cards. I don't normally use tarot cards. I use Oracle. It lets me be, hello, Cass Love. It lets me be a little bit more, open intuitively to the answers, because tarot usually has like very strict meanings to each card, and oracle is a little different. All right, slow motion. Big mixed barrel of emotion. Couldn't be more fitting, right? So slow motion. Yeah. Card number 63. I'll read from the book, but nut slap, you be nice. You don't have to label what you're feeling, just be present with it. What is most important is not trying to escape or avoid your reality. And I do definitely agree with that, where it's like, okay, again, nobody can tell you how to feel. Nobody can tell you how to, behave regarding this. If you are just one big mixed barrel of emotion going back and forth, even if you don't need comforting words, right? You're still going to experience the grief of losing your best friend. And that's going to be something that, of course, you're going to struggle with. And this is the universe telling you, I mean, not that you need an okay, but I feel like it's your team telling you, like, don't worry, like, we're here. Just call on us. Just, pray if that's something that you do, and try to stay in as positive a light as you possibly can and vibrate as high as you can. So if you do get a visit, you'll know it right away, and you won't need anyone to tell you that that's what's going on. Feel what you feel, be who you are and what you are, and just go through your own process. Don't be rushed, and don't be like, I would say don't even like take guidance on the matter. I don't know why I feel like I'm hearing so many voices like in my ear, right? Of like, just what's going to sound to you, I guess, like chatter. It's just like, blocking everyone out. I don't know why people are being so involved, or trying to be so involved in this process of grief and mourning for you. But, it's not necessary. I feel like you do have this under control. You know exactly what you're feeling. You know exactly why. And just don't try to rush yourself through the process. I think that's the biggest lesson in this situation regarding this card for you in the next 2 weeks.
Okay, go ahead and do JJ. And Mr. Mark Hallstetter, you'll be after JJ.
Did you just call him Hallstetter?
Yeah, I don't know why. Hallstead. You can yell at me later, Mark.
All right. JJ, I'm going to use the Della Nuit Oracle. Yeah, I think just anyone who cries is ugly. Carl, thank you for stopping in. Love you too. Have a great time at work. She's not getting a reading. She's just saying hi. Sometimes I'm pushed towards a deck, and I'm pushed towards that deck, and I'll have this conversation in my head where I'm like, well, that has more of a feminine energy to it. And I'll be reminded of like one card that can be more masculine, and that one card will always come out. And I always say to myself and say to you guys, I should have said that out loud, that I knew this card was coming. We got Peter Pan, card number 16. I live in Neverland with my little fairy Tinkerbell and the Lost Boys. My fiercest enemy is Captain Hook. From time to time, I fly to London to pick up my dear friend Wendy and her brothers. Some fairy dust, a few happy thoughts, and they all can fly with me and get to live extraordinary adventures in Neverland. We have so much fun in here, far away from the adult world. That's why I'll never grow up, and this I swear. Your inner child is calling you, JJ, and wants you to have some fun. Forget about the gray and boring world of grown-ups, only just for a little while. There is a whole Neverland to be rediscovered within you. Let go of your responsibilities, reconnect to your youthful joy. Remember that happy thoughts can truly make you fly. What are your happy thoughts? And what is your inner child begging you to do right now? So obviously this doesn't mean like go out and be a completely irresponsible adult, right? But it does mean that in some aspect or area, and not so much the irresponsibility part, but just like, you don't have to be adulting all of the time, JJ. And I feel like there's been so much going on with you, and it'll continue like this, where it's like kind of one thing after another, where it's like you have to like you have to be on, right? You have to be responsible for this person, you have to be responsible for this thing, and like that's being an adult, sure. But the universe is saying in the next couple of weeks you're going to get a very unique opportunity, not just unique to you, but I think unique in general, that your ego is immediately going to tell you to pass up. Like, I don't have time for that, I can't fit that into my schedule, that's for kids. There's something here that you're immediately going to want to dismiss as either juvenile, ridiculous, but what you won't dismiss it as is too much fun, because I feel like that is exactly what your inner child, your heart center is going to be telling you. Like, if you pass up this opportunity, and I don't feel like it's any grand opportunity, I just feel like it's a simple opportunity for you to either reconnect with someone you love very much and haven't seen in a very long time, like go have a night out with like your friends from college, or, I'm just thinking up examples. It obviously will resonate with you how it resonates, but it's like, don't pass up opportunities for fun. It can't all be about work and paying bills and stress and, making these important decisions that we all have to make in life. And this is about just taking some time to just be you and letting your inner child have some fun, right? And that doesn't have to mean doing childish things. It just means taking an opportunity and looking at it through the lens of a child, where like there's no room for, I'm trying to think of the word. There's no room for when you're a kid, you see the world as like big and brand new. There's no room for being like, I already, been there, done that. This is something brand new and unique. And I do feel like it's something maybe you've always wanted to experience, or something you've wanted to do for a long time. You may or may not know what this is. In the next 2 weeks, if you get invited somewhere, get the opportunity to do something that you've been wanting to do for a long time, or that just sounds really amazing to you, make the time. Schedule in the time for yourself. Take the day off work if you have to, if you can do so without losing your job. Change plans. Tell someone like, no, I can't help you move that day. Are you leaving someone in a lurch? Sure, but like they'll get over it. Mind over matter, right? Those who mind don't matter. Those who matter don't mind. JJ, I really feel like once you take this opportunity to get out there and like live a little again and not have to live under like all of this stress, it's going to awaken something in you. And that's why it's so important. It's going to remind you that we need to pencil in time for ourselves sometimes. I love bowling. I love karaoke. And I haven't done karaoke in 8 years. Why? Because I don't have the time. It's just not reasonable or feasible in my life right now. But I think, I could make the time. I know I could. So leave some time in the next 2 weeks in your schedule for magic, okay? Because that's exactly what this is. Netter is divining yes or no questions. So if you have a yes or no question, put it in the chat, either at New England Dirt Roadie or in all capital letters, okay?
Mark, I hope he's awake.
Just timestamp if he's not.
I will.
Good night, slow motion.
Slow motion. Be well.
Good night. I said that right. No, it's not. Karaoke is awesome. Mark, I'm using Magic of You. To admit others, I don't understand. The most worst problem It depends, I guess, on what your definition of that is, because I think the definition of what toxic masculinity would be very different from one person to the next, right? I think a lack of masculinity is toxic. But that's me, right? That's the way I was raised, and that's my opinion. Like, I grew up. Life with Bobby, you lurky lurker. I love it. Don't worry about it. Yeah, I'm not really understanding either, but it's cool. That's what we're all here for on the big island of misfit toys. So I think Angie is about to ask Netter a question. Mark, you got card number 27, the card of resilience. Burn away the past. I also have 5 sons, so All right, Mark, the girl of resilience is relaxed. She impassively stokes and stirs the flames of her past at her feet. In her crowded room of memories, she fans the flames without fear of letting go of events, ideas, people, and places that once defined her. She is comfortable in her room and is not leaving her space. The smoke does not overcome her. The window is open and a branch of the tree of life reaches in to guide her always to heightening clarity and wisdom. When resilience appears, it is time to stoke the fires of your past and release that which no longer serves you. So, Netter, my niece wants to know, she says, does it get better? And be honest. And Angie, like, I still have the same phone number. When resilience appears, it's time to stoke the fires of your past and release that which no longer serves you. Know that to rise like a phoenix, it is necessary to dive into the flames. Be warmed and confident in the light that comes from burning away and releasing the bad and good of the past. Release it all to be reborn with Agni, the inner flame. Yeah, Mark, this is, you know all about letting go of people, places, and things that no longer serve you. You know all about being in your own power. You know all about, hello, Travis, feeling those feelings of like when you're around people that don't necessarily like being around you and that you don't necessarily enjoy being around, right? So I'm wondering what and or who this is that you need to step away from. And one of the things I'm seeing is something to do with your spiritual journey. There is some very weird information coming to you of like that is that it's not like the right information being presented about your journey, your path, your whatever. I feel like, okay, let me put it this way. I feel like you have to be very, very careful in the coming weeks, next 2 to 4 weeks, who you're taking advice from regarding their spirituality, right? So I do feel like somebody could see that you're on this amazing journey, that you're willing to put in the work and the effort, and they're going to try to somehow manipulate you into either following their advice for whatever personal gain they would get from that, or into doing something that really has nothing to do with the initial thing you guys are working on. So for example, someone comes in and says, yeah, I can read Oracle for you. And then the advice they give you is to like donate all your money to their charity. It's something like that. I'm seeing like a grift, which is oddly specific for this stream, but I do know you fairly well personally. So maybe that's what's going on here. Mark, just be really mindful of who you allow into your personal space, your who you allow into your energy, because for some reason I am just seeing a there's no other way to put it except like a grifter in the next 2 to 4 weeks, like trying to convince you that the sky is falling and calling you henny penny. Do you know what I'm saying? I guarantee you're going to be way too smart for that, but it might put you in an uncomfortable situation, because this could be because if you were just going to meet this person and say, F you, I'm not going to give you anything, and walk off, the universe wouldn't even bring it up. There has to be some other thing here, right? Oh yes, net slap, totally. Thank you, Scott. there has to be something else here, like somebody you care about or know very well introduced you to this person. So now you have the uncomfortable job of telling that person that this person was a grifter, or there's something happening here. I'm not laughing because it's funny. It's just so specific. I'm seeing someone literally burgling you, like rifling through your drawers. Be really mindful of who you allow into your energy, into your personal space, into your home, into your vehicle even. And I'm also I'm seeing your horse as well. So if you haven't had the chance to go and check up on her, go and check up on Moon Baby, because that's what I call your horse. And just make sure things are on the up and up over there at the barn as well. Who's next? Netter is efficient. Yeah.
Okay. Candy B is next.
Who?
Candy B.
Oh, Candy. She wanted a timestamp.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I didn't see
I
that.
told her for this.
Yeah, there was a lot of confusion going on. So, a lot of folks. Okay, gotcha. We'll save her for last. Go ahead and do Kelly Huff.
Miss Kelly, are you still here, hon?
And I don't see Dimensional in
Dimensional
YouTube?
Legends right there.
Yeah, but I don't see them in YouTube.
Oh, okay, okay.
But they need to be careful what they say if it is showing up in YouTube.
Oh, yeah. It hasn't gotten that far yet, but just a reminder to everyone, you just can't talk politics in here or anything like that, because YouTube will demonetize me. So we don't go that route anyway, because all of us, I see you, Kelly, think something different in that realm. We don't talk religion. We don't talk politics, but feel free to talk about pretty much anything else. No cursing. I should probably start going over the YouTube rules, not my rules, YouTube rules, in the beginning from now on. I think I'm going to do that. All right, Miss Kelly, I am using a deck I haven't used in a really long time, and I was moved to grab this deck for some reason, probably for this reading. So I am using the Elque Oracle, and I believe I'm pronouncing that right, but I'm probably not because my Jersey accent gets in the way of everything. I can't pronounce words properly. All right. So, Kelly, you got Manara, She Who Waits, and it is the card of patience, waiting, and determination. Manara, she who waits, sits in a bower of leaves and flowers. So long did she pause there, the very flora has made its home in her hair. Because she knew the value of waiting, the ethereal glowing butterfly finally came to her. She made room for her dream by letting go of everything else. What you want, you too can have, Kelly. However, Manara will not give you the winged gift. The gift she offers is the lesson of patience. Your choice is before you now. Can you commit to the time it may take to get to where you want to be or to get what you want? The message of this card is you may face challenges in going after the thing you want above all others. If it were easy, the actual obtainment would be diminished. Honor the path set in front of you. Be ready to stretch yourself, because chasing this elusive desire will not be a walk in the park, more like a hike through exacting and arduous forest trails. This is not a test of physical ability, but about your level of determination. You can always say no, but keep in mind that you may never get this particular chance or opportunity again. Stop and evaluate your commitment and your commitment to your desire. So, all right. This says, what can I set aside to make room for my dreams? What do I want the most? And how long am I willing to wait? So the first thing that popped into my head is it said patience, waiting, and determination, not patience, waiting, and insanity. So I always used to say in my addiction that the definition, they would tell me the definition of doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result is insanity. That's what they tell you in recovery. And I would say, well, it's also the definition of determination. Because you try and you fail and you try and you fail and you try and you fail and you keep trying until you're not failing anymore, you're succeeding. And that's the definition of determination, right? That's how I justified addiction to myself, but I didn't see insanity. I saw determination. So what I'm seeing here is something you've been working towards, working for, or planning in your head because it's such a huge dream. Like, I'll use me as an example. YouTube isn't my ultimate goal. I want to be on like a paranormal show. I want to eventually, at the end, when all is said and done, I want to be running a spiritual retreat on the beach, helping others, right? That is my mission. And I also, obviously, I think a lot of people do, not everyone, but I want to be wealthy. I want to be independently wealthy where I don't have to worry about money again. So this is something like this. These are my steps working towards that goal. So Kelly, I would ask you, what is your ultimate goal in your life? How close to you are it? How can you, like, not how can you, so I'm seeing you like writing down like 3 goals that you want to have accomplished in 3 months, like smaller goals, then 6 months, then 1 month, or 1 year. I mean, what is your plan here? Are you already actively pursuing your goal or dream? And if you are, an opportunity to move into that space even more, probably more than you ever dreamed possible at this point in your life, is coming in the next, I'd say 1 to 2 months. If you haven't even started yet and it's still all in here, an opportunity to get it started is coming in. Now, this is an amazing opportunity, but I feel like, Ocean Beach for sure. I do feel, Kelly, one of the reasons this card pulled up is because like it's going to be a test of your determination, right? It's going to be a test of like, how badly do you want it? And how much work are you willing to put towards it? And the reason the universe needs to know that, the reason I'm hearing these questions and asking them of you, is because you will have to let something and or someone go in order to move forward. So it's like you have this amazing opportunity to, start chasing or to actually obtain something you've wanted for so long or worked so hard towards or something. But at the end of the day, it is going to come at a price. And it's up to you to decide in the next couple of months, is that price too much for you to pay? If you decide it is, that's fine. So for example, say you'd have to move like to a different country in order to accept this opportunity. Everything you've ever wanted, but you have to move the country, move the country. Now, say your significant other that you've been with for 5 years can't leave the country for some reason, their job. You have to choose. And you have to decide, what do you want more? And it is going to be a really tough decision. It's going to be like choosing between a rock and a hard place, really. And it's up to you. But you're going to intuitively and innately know which decision you should make, which decision is best for you at this time. But I see the issue coming in where you could end up being more willing to people please than to follow your dreams in this matter. Now, this doesn't have to be a dream as in what I just said. My dream is to run in a spiritual retreat. This could be something like getting out of an abusive relationship, getting out of a dead-end job. It could be something that seems so small to some people, but to you, it could be life-changing. Getting out of toxicity in a relationship is gaining freedom. But what are you going to do with that freedom? Right? There's a major, major opportunity for change coming in the next couple of months. And the thing I see, though, is that the opportunity is not going to present itself again. You're going to have to make your own opportunities after this. If you choose not to accept this, if you ever decide you do want it, you're going to have to make your own opportunity for it. I hope that makes sense, because that's what I got for you.
Life with Bobby.
Life with Bobby, I'm going to use the Fairy Forest Oracle. You are so welcome. Thank you for coming in. And I hope that all of the new people will enjoy this show enough to come in again. I know that I'm not for everybody, but you can't say really anything. That's why I say poop and booty all the time. I do like part of the whole like rebrand thing is going to be moving, doing more work on Rumble. I started an Instagram yesterday. I was only able to post one short on it. It's the Aries October General. And that's because it took so long with my Wi-Fi that I lost patience with it. But I got back with my publisher. That sounded romantic for some reason. I decided to work again with my publisher who are taking all of my self-published books. And this is a huge favor to me, taking all of my self-published books and putting them on the publishing label. I loved that publishing company. I just wanted to see if I could do it myself. Now that I know that I can, I don't want to do it myself anymore because it's a lot of extra work. I have to do my own editing and, you know, luckily I had someone helping me with cover. So anyway, this really great news. They're going to premiere my book, Danger at Your Door, as October's book of the month. So spooky, the spookiest month in the spookiest season, my spooky book is going to be featured. But here's the thing. They do all the advertising for me. Obviously, I can advertise for myself, and I do, but they do all the advertising for all my books for me. The trade-off is that I don't get paid monthly for my book sales anymore. It's once every 6 months. So beginning of September, end of February. But it's so worth it. And that was, I did have a point, but I lost it in my rambling. So I'm sure it'll come to me again at some point. But no, it was, yeah, thank you. It was a great opportunity for me and I jumped on it. Where was I going with that? Oh yeah. So they asked me to get Instagram because they said that that's where they do most of their promotion. And I was like, well, while I'm on it, if you already have me on Instagram and you didn't get me on Instagram yesterday, that means you have my old Instagram. I have a new one. I'm not using the old one anymore. This is strictly professional. Like on TikTok, it'll just be basically Oracle. Mentally seeing birds poop on Gemma. Oh, birds love to poop on me. I got pooped on one time at my doctor 3 times in the same day. Within 4 hours, 3 different birds pooped on me. All right, life with Bobby. Sorry about that.
It's supposed to be good luck.
Yeah, it was great luck. All right. Ooh.
I was going to say something.
Itchy. You got the shapeshifter. Card number 4. And then Anna, you're next. Angie, I'm sure you're coming up, honey. All right. Life with Bobby. You are able to change, my friend. All the things that have stirred within you, things that you have not even dared to whisper out loud, will soon become clear to everyone else because you're transforming. Do not let this fear of being quote unquote different stop you from this moment, this miracle when the instinctual true self becomes manifest. You can do what you think is unlike you. You have told yourself again and again who you are, and many a time you have merely gone ahead with what feels comfortable for you without daring yourself to truly be who you are. This message is for you to get ready for change. Get ready to be amazed at just what you can do when you give yourself a chance, at what you can become when you receive the same opportunities as others, but most importantly, what you can achieve when you dare yourself to go further. The story of your soul is so much more than you have allowed it to be, and within you are so many more possibilities. Don't deny yourself this chance to develop and grow. You are so many creatures, so many beings. Now is the time to explore that which once frightened you and which will ultimately become one of your greatest adventures yet. All right, I'll think about it, Nut Slap. $5 to Ghost.
Just went up to $10. You waited too long.
No, not my Nut Slap. All right, Life with Bobby. The main thing I see here is transformation galore. I know you may be thinking, that doesn't resonate, and it may not, but I do feel like things in your life are changing very rapidly, or the people around you. There is some big area and aspect of your life that is rapidly changing. And it's going to, in the next couple of weeks, I would say 2 to 4 weeks instead of my usual 1 to 2. So 2 to 4 weeks, you're going to have to change in order to continue going with the flow here. I don't necessarily see you, going out of your way to change in order to, chase a dream or have an opportunity come in or something like that. JJ, thank you. Anyone else who donated to PayPal, Cash App on YouTube here, I really do appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Yeah, I don't see you like purposefully doing this at first. I feel like this is kind of a forced thing, but it's not going to be a bad thing because the things that you're changing are necessary for your soul growth. I know we all want to be happy here while we're on earth, and we should pursue happiness, Bobby. We all should, okay? But the main thing is that our soul learn all of the lessons so that we don't have to repeat this crap in the next life, okay? Because I know a lot of y'all know time is not linear. And I'm just going to say something. So say, for example, your life lesson that you inherited from lifetime after lifetime after lifetime is being in relationships where the other person does not care for you that much, right? Where you just love and love and love and give and give and give. And the other person. So if you've been doing this throughout lifetimes, believe it or not, it becomes part of your cell memory, your subconscious and your superconscious. And so many light workers are breaking these generational and ancestral curses, bonds, bounds, whatever you want to call them. I don't know if bonds or bounds is the right word. I think it's binds. That's the word. In this lifetime here. So can you imagine if, say that were my thing, right? And I'm healing and growing and learning so that in my next lifetime, I don't have to do that. Could you imagine if my next lifetime is in like 1592 and I'm like, okay with being in an abusive relationship? I'd be dead by the time I'm 13. I mean, I'm just keeping it real. So while we want to be happy and we want to pursue our dreams as humans, we need to remember that our soul has a purpose. Okay. And life with Bobby, we will be pushed all our lives, in every possible scenario, in every stage of our life, to do things that are for the betterment of our soul. So if it seems like everything and everyone is changing around you or changing in one aspect or area of your life, and it's like now you have to change too because you feel forced, it's okay. Let the universe force you into at least this change, whatever this is circling around, because in the end, it will end up being in your best interest, even if you don't immediately see it.
Okay, Miss Edna is next.
Yeah, Edna says, we just got to go through it, life with Bobby, and try and learn our lessons. JJ, thank you so much. That's so sweet. JJ said, a great little community, so chilled. Yeah, I am so proud of this chat, even though, I take no credit for it. Smoochie, I see you, girl. And now I'm actually going to use the Alice in Wonderland Oracle for you.
Do you still see now? Smoochie said she didn't want a reading. Does she want a reading? Do you want
I didn't see her. I don't know. I didn't see her say that.
Yes, she said she didn't want one, but I want to make sure. So Smoochie, just let me know, okay? I'm going to shut up now.
And life with Bobby, you know what? That's all we can do. And that's all the universe expects of us, is to just do our very best. As long as you can do your best, nobody can ask anything more of you. And if they do, then they're not meant to be in your life. If you're, for example, I'll use romantic relationships again. If you're loving with all of your heart and being exactly who you are 98% of the time, and you're, learning and growing and changing, but still loving the same way, or loving, and the other person, it's not enough for them, then they're not meant for you. We shouldn't have to change innately ingrained aspects and parts of ourselves to please other people. We should only change what needs to be changed for us on a soul level. I know, Miss Smoochie, I know that your readings have not been the best lately, but I can only give the messages that come in. I try really hard not to sugarcoat, but I also try not to come off harsh. And I always say, if there's bad news, there's usually good news behind it. All right, and now you got the card of Nature Communications. Card number 37, flower energies, fairy energies, and elemental messengers. Why am I not surprised that Aunt Anna got this card of all of them? Oh, Tiger Lily, said Alice, addressing herself to the one that was waving gracefully about in the wind. I wish you could talk. We can talk, said the tiger lily, when there's anybody worth talking to. With this card, Alice thinks that because the flowers are, well, flowers, that they cannot speak, reason, or communicate. They are not like her, and therefore she thinks they cannot ever understand or connect with her. Alice assumes the same applies in the opposite direction. But to her surprise, the flowers in the world through the looking glass can speak, and they are very critical, very picky, and very, very aware of their choices. While they also make assumptions, thinking Alice to be a flower like them, yet unlike them, they reveal that most of the time they do not speak because they feel there simply isn't anybody worth talking to. Alice then realizes the flowers have recognized her as someone worth talking to. Perhaps because she has praised their beauty and simply wished to be able to communicate. She also has humility and a desire to understand. When this card comes to you, Aunt Edna, do not make assumptions about people, creatures, or beings who seem too different for you to communicate with. There's always a way to bridge the gap between us. If you request for these beings to speak with you and stay open to that possibility, there will be communication. This is especially important when working with the plant kingdom, trees and flowers, elementals and fairies. Be a person worth communicating with. Open your heart and mind and express your desires. In that way, new bonds and cords of understanding can grow between the human world and the wonders all around us. Divination in the upright, you are being asked not to make assumptions. Be open to the possibilities that seem to be outside of rational expectation. Attempts to communicate with beings from other realms, within nature, spiritual planes, or even just humans, it is thought there is no chance of speaking to or being understood by. Be open and express the desire for communication. Be more lateral and less literal about the ways communication can take place. Be a being worth communicating with. This will get you far. So, okay. And I do not see you as judgmental at all. It's just nowhere near your energy. I feel like you've long grown out of that. Not that, you never were. We all are. We have to learn not to make snap judgments. All of us do it every once in a while. But, this card is not about you not being judgmental. I feel like it's about you not wanting to be judged. But that's not. So I'm just going to tell you what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing is you wanting to either teach something new to someone, learn something new from someone, do something new, get involved with someone or something, and the people or person on the other end are looking at you like, she doesn't belong here, this isn't for her. Like, normally we would say just ignore them and go about learning what you want to learn and what you need to learn and giving all that you can give to the situation regardless. But there's something here. There's a reason that it's not really proving yourself, but if you make the extra effort, take the extra steps to allow these people or this person to see you for who and what you really are, your experience within whatever this is going to be so much better than even you're imagining right now. And again, you can just ignore this and go on about, doing whatever this is, teaching, learning, growing, changing, playing, laughing, loving, hugging. I don't know what exactly this could be, but the universe is telling you that it's going to be so much better, and you could actually change someone's life if you let them know who you really are, because they're looking at you as like, what does this lady, know about this? Or what could this lady possibly teach me? And I do see it as someone younger. Yeah, no, it's not going to stand in your way either way. That's kind of what I was just saying. Like you can go forward one of two ways here. You can just push forward like you always do and be like, F them. But the universe is saying, take a step back. There's a reason they're judging you. And one or all of them, whoever these people are, I have no idea. I'm just seeing younger. You have a lot to teach them that they're not even aware of and that you don't even know. So any opportunity, anything that you're pursuing, just in the next couple of weeks, look for ways to, really let your talent shine out and let your voice be heard. And I do feel like you're going to have people coming to you for advice in some area as well. Don't just push ahead silently, which I think you'd be fine with doing in whatever this is. But the universe is saying no, like be loud, be bold, be brave, be proud, because there's you're going to change someone's life, and I don't even think you're going to realize it. Looking forward to make tarot cards more better. You're welcome. Thank you. I want to make my own oracle deck eventually. I just need someone with the art. I'm supposed to be working on the guided meditation journal for getting in touch with your intuition, and I just remembered now. The past 2 weeks that I could have been working on it, I forgot all about it. So I'm glad that I just reminded myself. Okay, who's next?
Okay. I need to know if these people are still here. Dimensional, I know you said that. Do you want a card or not? Because you're coming up. Scott M., are you still here? Pamela Lay, are you still here? Autumn Night, Moonlight, are you still here? Kiss of my love, are you still? Kiss of my love, are you still here? And Travis DeLuca, are you still here? Next is Angie and Cliff.
All right, Dimensional does not want one.
Okay.
Not in this order, but we called Travis DeLuca, we called Scott M., we called Pamela Lay, we called Autumn, we called someone else that's new as well. So, guys, you have to let us know you're here and that you want a reading.
Right.
All right, Miss Angie. Angie, I'm going to use the fairy tale oracle for you. I don't know. I think about her often. I probably should have reached out. I see her. I saw a picture on Facebook today that I didn't like, and I wanted to say something, but I was like, I know if I say something, it could possibly be really bad for her. So I didn't say anything. Travis is here. Caslev is here. Okay, you guys have a couple minutes. We just want to make sure, because I don't like to read for people who are no longer listening unless,
yeah, and you're new, so I'll get you guys in here real soon. So stay right there.
Well, I still have to read for Angie and Cliff, so that might take a couple minutes, but about 10 minutes, guys, maybe a little less. All right, Angie. Whoa, that's too many cards. Let's do one, okay? Goldilocks, card of entitlement. Here we go. Card number 10. This card comes out a lot. So first she tasted the porridge of the great huge bear, and that was too hot for her, and she said a bad word about that. And then she tasted the porridge of the middle bear, and that was too cold for her, and she said a bad word about that too. And then she went to the porridge of the little small wee bear and tasted that, and that was neither too hot nor too cold, but just right. And she liked it so well that she ate it all up. But the naughty girl said a bad word about the little porridge pot because it did not hold enough porridge for her. In this relatively recent tale, a pretty golden-haired girl wanders into a home that belongs to a family. She eats their food, sits in their chairs, and sleeps in their beds. And she does it all with the greatest sense of entitlement that makes me feel that this card is all about those who have a sense of entitlement and who make use of the families of others. The selfish one who wanders into private spaces and appraises it thoughtlessly. Hi, Kieran. The one who takes over the territory of others without even considering the dangers of doing so. For Goldilocks, from the bear's perspective, is no pretty child, cute and sweet. She is an invader. She has carelessly entered their home, disrupted their sense of safety, and taken what she feels to be hers by right. And nothing she helps herself to belongs to her. I like the hi with the extra eyes. I just did a short about that today. Angie, this tale is so well loved and remembered, perhaps because of the use of 3 over and over. In this way, it alludes to the law of 3, that whatsoever we do, we send out and receive back to the power of 3. There are 3 bears. They each have their own personal belongings, and this spoiled little rich girl who comes out of nowhere and leaves into the same simply enters and takes. Goldilocks isn't hungry. She's not uncared for. She's simply looking for what is just right for her and has no qualms experimenting with others' belongings before taking without thinking what she believes to be hers by right. In her false security of being able to do this, she ultimately learns that this way of thinking and behaving is not safe, nor is it noble. The bears are strong and very family oriented. They look out for each other and can be seen dancing in unison in the image. So in the background, you see the 3 bears. Does Goldilocks want what they have, the closeness and safety? It is then betrayed or trespassed upon. Goldilocks represents a sense of entitlement, and so it is with this card. Be aware that there is no real entitlement in this world, that what we have and treasure we have earned and deserve to protect, that to share we must be invited in, and growing up means not simply walking into other families and demanding we be cared for as when we were children. Many times in life we will attempt to gain the symbols of belonging, of the new home and family, of being just right. But we must acquire these for ourselves. The bears within the tale show us what a real family is. Goldilocks is acting completely without thought of others. The bears are also symbols of the deep unconscious, and bear medicine is particularly strong and wild. The deep unconscious and primal world represented by the bears is being disrespected by Goldilocks, and this too impedes her journey to maturity. She cannot grow up without respect for our deep animalistic natures. Goldilocks is disrespecting the strength, the power, and the sheer tenacity and endurance of the bears. The bear is the father, too, as in Odin, and the bear is the baby, the new life, the cub coming into the world. Bear is wisdom and respect, and this is what this card alerts you to. Where do you need to learn, to study, to respect in order to grow past a young stage and into full maturity? So, Angie, wait, guys, don't forget New England Dirt Roadie is answering yes or no questions with his divining pendulum, either at New England Dirt Roadie or any DR netter, or put it all in capital letters. Angie, this isn't talking about like you being immature or anything like that. And I don't believe it's talking about you being entitled either. The sense that I'm getting from this card is there is an aspect or area of your life where I feel like you may think there's no room to learn or grow, right? Like you've made up your mind. This is how it is. I feel like you feel, and I'm only giving you messages, you know, your aunt is not giving you this message. I feel like you feel you're owed something here. You know, either someone did something to you or didn't do something they were supposed to do for you, maybe throughout your life or maybe in your young adult life. It's like you feel like they did this to me. They treated me like this. They didn't do this for me and they were supposed to. Like they're the reason in this area of my life I'm like this. You know, you feel owed something. And you know what? You wouldn't be wrong, except for the fact that like we're all adults. And even if this person or these people did or do owe you something, I think you've come to understand that they're not going to deliver it. And they're particularly not going to deliver it, whoever it may be, in whatever situation. There could be more than one person in more than one situation, because I know you're going through a lot right now, and I know you're hurting, right? I know your life isn't easy right now, and I hate that for you. But as someone who's been there too, and what I'm seeing is that there comes a time where like you can keep holding on to this and getting angry every time your expectation isn't met, even if you have every right to expect it, like an apology, say, from someone who put their hands on you, or money from someone who borrowed from you, whatever it is, big or small. If you keep expecting it, you're going to keep being disappointed. So there comes a time, and I feel like this is that time for you, Angie, that the universe and your team, they're trying to steer you into being like, you know what? I don't even need it. I can get it for myself. I can do it for myself. I can become it, like whatever the case may be, because the longer you hold on to this person or these people in your life, even if it's in the sense of they owe you, they're not ever going to deliver. So you're still going to have this connection to and with them for no reason other than just to always be disappointed. So whoever this person is, or we'll say it's one person because it's easier than saying this person or these people. So whoever this person is, and I do feel like it's more than one person, more than one situation. And in fact, I know for a fact it is, but I'm not going to get very personal. You can accept the situation for what it is and stand in your own power by saying, I don't even need it. But you have to get yourself to a place where you actually mean that, right? You have to heal. And healing takes years, and it takes a lot of effort, and it takes a lot of, a lot more pain, a lot more dealing. But what comes with it is this major understanding that like people are just gonna be people. And if they're poop people, They're always going to be poop people unless they don't want to be anymore. So are you going to be the same to them, or can you accept them as they are? Or do you walk away completely? Now, if it's someone you've walked completely away from, but you feel like they ruined my life, or because of them, I'm in this, having to go through this. Good night, Mom. I love you. I'll talk to you this weekend.
Night, Mom.
That still has a connection with them. And if they're that type of person, baby girl, you're too good for them. I'm sorry. I don't think anyone's better than anyone else or worse than anyone else. We all have our reasons for being here. But I feel like right now, you've just got to move yourself into vibrating higher, right? You've got to move yourself into being like, you know what? I feel sorry for that person for how they treated me, that they could treat someone like this. Do you know what I'm saying? And I feel like this is the universe just telling you, step into your power. Accept people for who they are. And if they can't accept you for who you are, then you move on from them. And it may take some time to completely detach. But as long as you don't keep going back and forth, you're going to be just fine. This is also talking, and I'll say this very quickly, about forgiveness. Genuine, true forgiveness. Not forgiveness in the moment, but really looking at someone and saying, you know what? You are an imperfect person. I am an imperfect person. I forgive you. Or just knowing in your heart you forgive them and you don't even have to tell them. Forgiveness doesn't have to equal reconciliation, honey, because forgiveness is for you. It's so that you can shed that skin of, what pain. I just keep hearing it's time to grow up, but it's not meant in a bad way. Like when you tell someone it's time to grow up, little girl, that's not the message here. The message is you have so much more to do and so much more to give and so much more life to live than to be worried about these inconsequential people. And the reason they're inconsequential is because what have they done but hurt you? Right? You have got to find a way to move on from the pain of your past, honey. You really do. You're going to end up like me. And I've been telling you that since you were like 18, 15. Don't end up like me. I don't want that for you. Because I love myself now and I'm proud of everything I've accomplished, but I waited until I was 37 years old to start accomplishing, right? I love you. I'm always here for you. Still have the same phone number. All right. Are we doing Cliff next, Angie? Should we do a card for him real quick?
I was just going to ask that.
I just want to make sure.
On the list. I figured I'd put them together. So
yeah, no, that's cool.
Couples together. I love you more. No, when
she was growing up, I did not like little kids. I just didn't know how to interact with them because I wasn't usually around them. And I was basically the baby in my family. So I didn't want to interact with little kids. I wanted to be the baby. But Angie was always different. From the first time I met her when she was 2 months old, when my sister had just had her, I was 10. And I just remember I couldn't get enough of her. She was the only kid I would allow in my room when she was like 5 years old. I would open up all my Barbie dolls that I hadn't opened yet because I was saving them. She'd be like, I like that. And I'd be like, here, take it all. I fell in love with her. And I still love you so much. And I think about you often. I wish I drove, but I'm working on that too. So, all right, this is for Cliff. This is the Halloween Oracle. You can love the person and hate their actions. It's crazy. Yeah. I have no one's number. It's probably better. I only do text, except like with my dad. My dad can't text like at all. So him, I'll talk to on the phone. My mom, I don't make her sit there and text me back and forth. But like you guys, y'all got the time. And it's good because I know if any of you call me, it's important, right? Because I know you guys know I don't particularly like phone calls. So if my phone rings, I know it's pretty important. Or usually what happens is I'll get a text immediately saying, sorry, I butt dialed you.
It's funny because when she calls me, I'm like, something's wrong. I gotta answer.
Yeah. I did. Because she gave me her favorite Tupac shoes so I could be the coolest in school. Yeah, I like those shoes. I did too, because we have the same size foot as my mom. And my sisters have like these teeny little feet. We have like real people, grown-up feet, so we can share shoes. Okay. Which, by the way, I do have some shoes for you whenever I see you again. So Cliff pulled the card of ancestors. I walk in their footsteps. Their wisdom inside me remains. I am unique, yet carry a legacy. Their blood runs through my veins. Whether or not we know our ancestors, we are the product of those who have lived before us DNA-wise. Externally, we may have the body type of our father, our mother's eyes, our grandmother's nose, our great-grandfather's skin tone. On the inside, it gets even more interesting. We know now that we can, quote-unquote, inherit the way our body works, our blood types, genetic disorders, even propensities for aspects of brain function like introversion, musicality, and mathematics. Many pagan paths associated with Halloween believe that we are born perfectly imperfect to be exactly what we are meant to be. So what does this all mean? It means that the gifts our ancestors have left us in the unique synergy of the combination of the physical, mental, and physical that is created within us sets us up perfectly to achieve our ultimate purpose. Should the ancestor card bring itself to your attention, know that you are ready and able to action your birthright of power. You have the support of those who came before you. There may be challenges or struggles, but you have everything you need to overcome them and you will prevail. So what this is talking about, and I'm going to speak to Cliff as though he's listening, and make sure if he's not listening, he comes back and listens later, because it is important. I've never met this young fellow. Got to see if I approve. If you're happy, I'm happy. I'm only kidding. So yeah, what this is saying.
If she doesn't, she sicks me on you.
This isn't just like about DNA or what you look like and all that jazz, even though it sounds like it. So what this is actually talking about, Cliff, and this is a big one, so pay attention, is ancestral binds, generational curses, things we inherit from our parents, grandparents, our great to the 15th power Uncle Boo, who like lived in the Old West and died in a gunslinger fight. You know, although we don't know these people, we've never met them, they do follow us. There's usually one or two ancestors from way back that are assigned to us. And it's usually the ones that made the same mistakes that we are currently making. Yeah, Cass, as soon as I read for you, I got you, girl. So, Cliff, there's something that's going on with you, and I feel like it's something that, like, it's either been going on for a long time or, like, it was going on and then it stopped and now it's going on. So, I don't know. It could be something with your physical health. It could be something like some sort of compulsion or bad habit, like even smoking, right? Say you quit for 10 years and then now you're back on it. This is something that was inherited, and it wasn't only inherited. So whatever it is, it could also be certain ways you behave that you don't like. I'm not saying you use drugs, and I'm not saying you're violent. I use these as examples a lot because people can relate to them. So say you have this tendency to just like get really angry and like Hulk smash the whole house, right? Which that better not be true, boy. You've inherited this. It's in your if it's not in your genetic makeup, you inherited it from watching it, right? And it was inherited by someone else, by someone else, by someone else. It's kind of a complicated thing, so I'm going to break it down as best I can. This is the universe saying, unless you take a good hard look at whatever this is and say, you know, I'm not my ancestors. I am them, but I'm not. I'm my own person. I have my own spiritual path, my destiny. Until you stop doing whatever this is or start doing whatever this is, and I think it's stopping something. Again, it doesn't have to be anything extreme like being violent or using drugs. It could be something small that's really affecting your life right now, right? Until you stop doing this, you are never going to move on to the next phase of your awakening. And eventually you'll get to the point where, you know, years and years down the line, when it's your day to go, when you're reborn, you're going to have to work that same exact struggle, that pain in the butt thing that either tears you apart or alienates people again. And I know it's like, Gemma, what do I care? It's my next life. I'm not going to remember. No, but like you're going to suffer in that life as you've suffered many lives before. It's a generational curse. In our family, you know, the women are usually abused in some way. There's addiction running rampant. There's, you know, toxicity among family members. We're not usually close knit, right? And we are now as adults, but for the most part, we're not. So it's up to us now, particularly the women, to break those binds. And that's what I'm talking about. We have to be better than the past generations. And we have to be better than our best self right now. So I just kind of see you searching for maybe some direction, either in life in general or in some area, like, for example, work, right? you're like, why, I'm at a dead end job, just say. And it's like, okay, you have to look at why you are there. What can you do to make it better? How quickly can you get started? This is all up to you, but there's a secret. Your girl has an aunt who knows about these things. So I will tell you that voice in your head that tells you don't do that, as you're like, I'm going to do it anyway. That is your intuition. That is your spirit team. That's your guides, your angels, your ancestors, deceased loved ones, your higher self, right? Telling you don't do that. So when you don't listen to that voice is in your head to put you on your path, not just the right path for life, but the right path for your soul. Start listening more to your intuition, Cliff. Even if, maybe you're not going to look cool. I don't know what the kids do these days, but maybe you're not going to look cool, not doing something. Or maybe you made a promise that you were going to do something that now it's like, well, that was ridiculous, but I got to follow through. God forbid so-and-so who asked me to do something ridiculous and dangerous is mad at me. You have to start worrying more about how you feel about you and less about how others feel about you. All right. I'm going to stop it there because it's getting really long, but I think from my niece's reaction, you got the gist. You have to be strong and be strong in your own power to say, I don't care who likes it and who doesn't. This is what I'm doing. Obviously not in a negative way, like, I don't care who likes it that, I hit my grandma. It's going to be like, I don't care who likes it that I'm no longer going to. I can't even think of examples that wouldn't be offensive, but I think you know what I'm talking about. And I'm not accusing you of any of those things I brought up. Those were just examples to get you to understand what I'm talking about, okay? You have a purpose, you have direction, you have a light, and you need to work within all of those things to align yourself. Once you get even the tiniest bit aligned with your purpose, your life is going to magnificently change to where you're going to be like, I want more of this. And as long as once you're at that point, you keep doing the next right thing, your life can be anything you want it to be. I wanted since the time I was 5 to be a best-selling author. Books were my only friends. And then when I was 38, that dream came true. So it's not like it's not possible. It's just how long are you going to make it take? I love you too, Angie. She said, I freaking love you. You're extremely scary on point. I am mind blown. Well, good. I'm glad because those are definitely messages you guys needed to hear. Blue Crossroads.
Okay,
Who's next?
Ready?
Yeah.
A new person's next. Cass Love is next.
Cass Love asked a question. After Cass Love, I'm just going to run to the bathroom really fast, and I'll be right back. What was Cass Love's question?
I got you. I'll get it for you. Hold on one sec. Right there, I believe it's what. Yes, there you go.
And it said she does that a lot, Angie. Cass Love, thanks, Gemma Jade. Can ask, what do my guides want? Okay. That's usually the message I give, so that actually works out perfect. Yeah, but Aunt Edna, she knows me as like the aunt that when I was babysitting would put food in the oven and forget to turn the oven on. Like an hour later, she's like, I'm hungry. I'm like, I don't know what happened. Throw the food against the wall. She knows crazy Aunt Gemma. So I just ran on my treadmill and I know the root chakra when I wake up if I enter the kingdom. All right, Miss Cass Love, let's do it. I'm using Deep, Dark, and Dangerous, the Blue Crossroads deck. We call it that because he is also deep, dark, and dangerous. Oh, yeah, she's seen me at my craziest for sure. But she was always the one to defend me. No matter how crazy I got, Angie would be like, no, not my Aunt Gemma. I did it. She's like 5. Thank you, Ron. Congrats for 5K. Thank you. I'm hoping by my birthday on March 1st to have 10. I'm doing more with the social media. Bye to the donuts. Cop food is not allowed. What is happening? I don't know what's going on anymore. Oh, wow. I'm going to take that card because it flew out. And as I was shuffling, I looked at it twice. So it was meant to be. Cass, you got the respect card, the Anubis. So I like this card a lot. My mom is terrified of this thing. Card number 25, and it is a dark card. It doesn't mean anything bad. Smoochy girl, and I turned right to it. Cass, pay extra attention to this message, okay? Because that doesn't happen often. Take special care and pay attention to detail right now in all areas and aspects of your life. Respect yourself and respect others. Take the time to guide someone who needs it. You may not like someone, but you can respect their humanity or even their skills. Offer compassion and respect to the dead. The Egyptian gods can appear a fearsome bunch. To our eyes, perhaps Anubis with his jackal head looks fearsome, but this is not the truth. While, yes, actual jackals do move among the graveyards and clear the bodies of the dead from the desert sands, the jackal god takes great care of the tender new souls who have passed into the afterlife. When you travel down into the womb-like environment of many tombs in ancient Egypt, the gods seem to live and breathe in the artful storytelling upon earthen walls. Among them, always, is the dark, majestic jackal head signifying the presence of Anubis, god of the underworld and mummification. After preparing the bodies by guiding the embalmer's hand, Anubis travels side by side with the dead to have their souls weighed against Mat, a goddess representing truth and justice, as recorded in the Book of the Dead. Jarvis, Gerbil Milk, are you still here? What is wrong with my color? There we go. I guess doing this, and then I have to fix it like this. When the cult of the god Osiris grew stronger in the later Middle Kingdom, Osiris took over many of Anubis's jobs as caretaker and protector of the dead. Thereafter, his myths became more focused on the specific embalming methods and mummification processes. The priests of the funerary rites would place a sacred mask of Anubis upon their faces when conducting the mummification, thus becoming the god himself. The respect, care, detail, and effectiveness in which the mummification process was enacted is still a marvel today. Death is something that will happen to all of us sooner or later, Cass. The fear of losing our life, of death itself, is something something very human. Yet Anubis, with his calm and respectful presence, may be there to shepherd our souls across the divide. To honor him, we can offer the usual stones, frankincense, and gold. However, leaving a respectful gift on a stranger's grave may be a better way to show the heart of the god himself. So your plant companion is frankincense. Very easy to burn some frankincense incense to get yourself closer and more connected with your deceased loved ones, your ancestors, your whole team. And your crystal companion is one of my absolute favorites, smoky quartz. I gave Dave Schrader my last piece of smoky quartz, except for the necklace Miss Lara made me. So this is a, I just want to check one thing it said real quick. Want to make sure I got, okay, 25, quick, come on. Okay. So, okay. There's a lot here, actually. And there usually is with this card, even though obviously the reading will change depending on who I pull the card for. But Cass, the main thing I'm seeing here is like respect for others' opinions. So one of the main things. So I'm seeing there's conflict within either your close friend group, your relationship, your family, it's like someone or several someones who like you care about what, they think of you because you care about them. There's like some conflict there. And I feel like the universe very simply is just saying like, learn to respect others' opinions. If they can't learn to respect yours, you're going to have a decision to make. So this is another card today about stepping into your own power, understanding who you are as a human being, what you're willing to accept and what you're not, right? So there is major change coming in for you. I'm trying to see when they're showing me here. I would say, and I usually only see 1 to 2 weeks, but I'm seeing like 3 to 4 months. So over the course of the next 3 to 4 months, YouTube guided me here. Yes, Cass, that is the best way to find this stream. And we're here every week. The next few months is going to be major changes. This is when you're going to be coming out of the dark night of the soul and into awakening, right? What does that mean for you? I don't know. But what I do know is it's stepping into your power. It's understanding your power. You have the right to say no. You have the right to be who you are authentically. And the people who are meant to be in your life will be. There's something here. I don't know if it's a job. I don't know if it's a family member. I don't know if it's a romantic relationship or there's some situation here where it's like, it is time to break free. It's not working. And the only thing holding on, of course not, Heather, to this relationship is going to do, or to this situation, It's going to keep you held back. I do feel like the other person is aware of this. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, be very mindful of people coming back in from your past in the next few months. If you do know what I'm talking about, I know that a lot of times, like with a job or even a romantic relationship, even if it's toxic, you can't just leave. And I hate when people say those things, right? Just leave. F you, right? I hate that. But it is time to slowly start pulling your energy away. This person and or these people, will say this person, but could be more than one, not going to change. They do not care about respecting your autonomy. They do not care about how you want to, you being yourself. They care about how they want to perceive you. They care about you staying the exact same so that the relationship or situation, whatever it is, stays the exact same so they don't have to put any effort in. You are beyond that, my girl. You are like, I want to put in as much effort as possible. I want to grow and learn and evolve and change and be in my power and make my dreams come true and all these things. All this person and or situation is going to do is hold you back. They are not going to have a moment of clarity where they realize how fabulous and amazing you are, because you are. And I know that because you were brought in here randomly, probably, and out of nowhere. Like, who the heck is Gemma Jade? Let me see what this is about. And bam, now you're a gemstone. Slowly start pulling your energy away. Okay. And if you're dealing with someone like a narcissist or a very toxic person, the one piece of advice I could personally give you, and that your team is, they're telling me to say this for a reason, right? Speak only in facts. Do not engage. And this will take some time to learn. The faster you learn how to not engage with them, how to not react to their BS and their bullying and their mind games and manipulation, their gaslighting, the easier it's going to be for you to separate your energy. So even if you can't physically get out of this job, this relationship, whatever the situation is, you can emotionally do that. And that's when you can set your sights on bigger and better things and start to slowly move forward. So I'm here every Friday. There's information. Might not be in the description box of this video because this live stream, I had to put a huge disclaimer, but any other video you look at, you will find information about personal readings I do, or you can email me, GemmaJadeParanormal@gmail.com. Otherwise, though, if you don't want like a full personal, you can just come in every Friday and see what's up. We'd love to have you. So I hope that helps. You're in Canada. We have a few Canadians in here, actually. Miss Grey Wolf is from Canada. There's a couple others. Who's next?
Well, I'm trying to find out if Travis is still here. He's a new person. Travis DeLuca, please let us know you're still here. I like to get some of you new people out of the way because you've been waiting, and I'm trying to get everybody in so our regulars don't wait too long too. So while we wait for him to answer, go ahead and do Andrew since he's back.
Andrew, give me 1 second. I'm sorry, I have to run to the bathroom. Cass, you know what you have to do, and you can't do it like this. I understand that more than you think I do. Believe me, honey, start emotionally detaching. That's the best thing you can do. That doesn't mean don't love, but it means don't put your love there. Don't give your love to that person. Like, actually give it. Keep it to yourself and push it out in other ways in the world. I will be right back. Okay. Do not leave. Travis, I see you. Scott's back. Andrew, don't go anywhere. No meal. I'll be right back.
So I do have you back, Scott. So I'm trying to be fair to everybody. Travis, when she comes back, then we're going to do Andrew, then Mike J. Then I need to know if Karen is still here. Karen Agua, you have to forgive me. I don't talk very well. So if you're here, let me know you're still here. And no, Scott, we're going to put you in here we'll probably put you in here either after Mike J. Well, we're going to put you in after Mike J because that's where you originally was at. So, okay, good. So just bear with me. Watch your names. I'm just trying to fit everybody in because I don't want our regulars waiting too long either. So we're going to do Travis, Andrew, Mike J, Scott. Then we'll do Karen. And then I'll go from there, okay? I saw her blue. And that should do it. Thank you for joining us. Hope everybody's having a good week. Just bear with me because we had a lot of new people in here, and I'm just trying to make sure everybody doesn't wait too long. Kind of hard sometimes, but I'm trying not to forget anybody either. No, you didn't miss your card. I did call you, but he didn't answer, and then she called you. But you're not far. In fact, you're right after Mike J, so just be patient. So it will be Travis, Andrew, Mike J, then you, Scott, okay? And then I'll fit in Karen, and we should be back to the list after that. So just bear with me. I'm trying to be as fair as possible. Okay, Divine, I got you. Yeah, we'll get you a timestamp on. No problem.
Try not to drink too much during. Try not to drink too much during stream so I don't have to keep going potty, but my mouth gets so dry from all this talking. I got to get some more like Jolly Ranchers, like hard candies.
Okay.
All right, who's next?
Travis.
All right, Travis, we're going to... What? You okay?
Travis DeLuca.
All right, Sir Travis, we're going to use Aether Creatures. I don't know. I thought Andrew was next, but I know you know what you're doing. I can't believe I used to keep the list myself. I don't even know how I did that. I just got to crack these, and there are so many, it just takes a minute. Yeah, I can't even shuffle them. There's like 96 cards here, or like 76 cards. All right, let's do it this way. Travis. All right, you got the Atai in the upright, card number 62. You got it in the upright. Travis, no matter whether the Atai appears right side up or in reverse, it means the same thing. In the situation at hand, you must make your decision specifically according to what you value the most. For most people, there's a big difference between what they value doing and what they are actually doing, how they value acting, and how they are actually acting. Many people feel like something is just wrong and don't know exactly what, and so they don't know what they can do about it. If you value spending time connecting with your family, but you work a 70-hour work week, you're not living according to your own values. If you value being useful to others and doing something of meaning, but you sit on the couch binge watching shows all day, you are not living according to your values. The people who are happy on this earth are the people who are actually doing what they value doing and who are actually acting how they value acting. They do not have the experience of being pulled in so many different directions because they know their values enough to be able to prioritize according to those values and let the chips fall where they may. Keep in mind that values are not the same as goals. A goal is something that is achieved and then it's done. Values are about something important that is ongoing. It's about doing. It is something you keep doing for as long as you hold that value, potentially for the rest of your life, as opposed to something that gets crossed off your list once it is achieved. For example, achieving a gold medal win at the Olympics is a goal, not a value, but achieving as an ongoing principle is a value. Mike, I'm sure you're on the list. A value is what you consider to be important, worthy, and useful. Deep inside of your heart, what do you really want? Travis, what really has worth to you? Your values are about how you want to be in the world relative to others and to yourself, what you want to do, and how you want to go about doing it. To live according to your values, you need to be willing to consider that you may have values that you have been conditioned to believe, and they're not acceptable to have in comparison to others. This is especially true when you are always expected to self-sacrifice. The Atai has come to you to teach you that to experience life satisfaction, you need to prioritize your top values. And when push comes to shove, maybe it is a push comes to shove situation you're in right now, you need to prioritize your number one core value above all others. Look at the situation at hand and or your life in general and be really honest about how you are or are not acting in alignment with your top value or values. Decide how to act in alignment with your actual values. What changes could you make today to do that? Your future will be dictated by the way you prioritize in alignment with your values today. So that was a lot, but let me put it in the best example I can. At the end of every pre-recorded video, I tell you guys, be kind to each other, guys. It doesn't cost anything. Be kind to yourselves and never accept anything less than others being kind to you. I am not always kind. A lot of the times, the old Gemma will come back and I'll snap and I'll start getting real ghetto. And I value not cursing anymore. But I sometimes will F this, F that, F the other one and their friend. He knows. Ghost Dragon's heard it a million times. But every time I do that, I think to myself, okay, I've got to work on that, right? Because I really value kindness and I value fairness. And just because someone else isn't being kind or fair to me doesn't mean I have the right to be unkind and unfair to them. And that is a hard lesson to learn. So Travis, I feel like that is what Ron, exactly. Yeah, I feel like that's what this card is saying. When it comes to energy, it should always be reciprocal. You smile at me, I smile back. We've exchanged this positive energy. When it comes to negative energy, though, we don't want to reciprocate, right? Travis, I don't know what this situation is dealing with or what this card specifically means for you, but what I can tell you is there is a situation in your life, again, romantic relationship, friendship, it could be your employer or an employee, where this person is taking you outside of yourself. So just for example, say you value kindness as above all, basically. This person is constantly getting under your skin. More than likely it's on purpose, okay? Whether you know that or not, it is, so that you'll snap. I have someone in my life that they will push me and push me and push my buttons and push my buttons. And the minute I turn around and curse them out, they go, look at Miss Be Kind, everyone. Not so kind now. That's what these people or this person are doing to you. They are purposely goading you into acting outside of yourself so that they can feel better about themselves. They're manipulating your energy. They're manipulating your emotion so that they can think, well, what I did wasn't so bad because look how they just treated me, or look how they reacted to that. You know, they judge your reaction to their BS, their abuse, their negativity, whatever it is. Travis, I feel like this is the universe and your team telling you to stand firm in your values and beliefs. It doesn't matter how someone is treating you. What matters to your soul is how you treat others. And it's not only about this, but I think this is a big component of it because I feel like you're in a situation that number one, you definitely shouldn't be in. Number two, you were meant to get out of a long time ago. And number three, you're just not yourself. And I feel like if you're not already feeling this in the next few weeks, you're going to be having these thoughts like, I'm not the same anymore. Or, you know, you're going to be questioning everything about like your values. You're going to be questioning everything about your life. You're going to be questioning everything about yourself. All of this confusion and befuddlement, all because a toxic person, a narcissist, an evil, even an evil person, whoever this is very, very lower vibrational. They are a garbage person. No offense if it's someone you care about. They're no good. All because this type of person thinks it's funny to play with you. I don't know if this is resonating, but if it isn't, it will in the next week or two. Nobody's ever better than anyone else, but some of us work with our light and some of us don't. And those of us, you included, me, mostly everyone in here, I think everyone in here, when we work with our light, we have to really hold on to that and not let other people pull us back down into the darkness, because it takes hard work and effort and strength to be able to not respond when someone is, you know, pressing our buttons, to smile at someone who's got a nasty look on their face. But as light workers, we're kind of sent to do that. You deserve a lot better than what and or whoever this is. Like, disconnect. Please disconnect. Completely and fully. Like I told my niece, Angelique, you can keep holding on to this, but you're just tethered to this toxicity and this garbage. Why? Because you don't want to be rude, because you don't want people looking at you sideways. Like, why are you have to figure that out, and you have to move on from it. And that's not me. That's straight from your spirit team. It's a big concern, because you're acting so out of character that there's a risk here that you're going to fall down like 10 energetic levels and have to work your way back up again when you've already worked so hard. You've already come so far. You've already achieved and overcome so much. Don't let this witch win. Not literal witch, because we're actually pretty cool, most witches I know, but you know what I mean. Please, you deserve a lot better than having to deal with this and being, feeling like you have to be that person, because you're not. That's you acting out of character. Don't do that for anyone.
Are you ready? She's got a lot written there, so.
Good night, Angie. Thank you. No, I want to say to Travis real quick, I love you too, Angie. Hit me up anytime, sweetie, and I'm sure I'll see you soon. I've done a lot of things I shouldn't have done. I'm a recovering addict. And I mean big time drugs, right? But we can't live on regret, and we also can't allow toxic people to define us by that. I still know people. I'm a best-selling author 4 times over. I'm the author of 10 books. I am a stay-at-home mom. I run my own business. I'm a social media content creator. I work 70 to 80 hours a week for barely any money. I ghostwrite for people. I write, I have all these accomplishments that I feel so proud of. And there are still people that will talk about this thing I did 8 years ago when I was neck deep in addiction and dying. And there are still people that'll say, oh, you've changed. Of course I changed. I weighed 86 pounds, was losing all my hair, and didn't have a place to live. Yes, thank you. I changed. Yeah. Thank you, Heather. And Heather met me a couple times back in those days. But you know what I mean? You can't allow others to define you, and you can't define yourself by your worst mistakes or the worst things you've said or done. We all do it. It's human nature. Define yourself by the best part of who you are and the best that you can do. And if people are going to keep poking you, get away from them. I don't like that. And yeah, don't let it destroy you, Travis, and don't let it bring you down. And now I'm ready. Heather, thank you. Yeah, I'm not. I said goodbye to that person a long time ago with love, without, judgment. Just, I can't do this with you anymore. And I walked away. Oh, Angie, you're so sweet. Don't make me cry now, girl. I appreciate you. Thank you.
Ready? Andrew.
Anna, I think I'm the one I had the hardest time forgiving, for sure. Everyone else was just like, okay, if you say so, we'll go along with it. And they did. And I didn't prove them wrong, Oh, I'm so glad you feel better. Heather, thank you. You guys are so sweet. That's what I'm here for. That is what makes it all worth it. Flirty chatters. What did I walk in on? Ooh. Andrew, I'm using the Energy and Spirit Oracle for you. So yeah, I was doing Truckers Creepy Encounters or something. Part 2. And I thought of you the whole time. I'm like, he's got to have stories. Oh no. Blue. Yeah, let me see what's happening. All right, guys, can we keep it a little more positive? I mean, I'm sure that whatever we're all going through, there's people involved that we can talk to if we're angry or upset or anything like that, All right. I don't know why I was waiting for Ghost right then because I already pulled your card. Andrew, you got the card of mindfulness in Angie in the upright position, peaceful presence and quiet mind. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. I don't know, Blue, I don't think I spoke to you yet, but someone close to the stream lost their spouse of 45 years this morning very suddenly after I read for them yesterday and kept saying, I don't know why your husband's in the back of my head. I don't, it's been a rough day. Yeah, we can only do better or we choose to do worse because once we start ascending, there's no not knowing anymore, right? It's like once you know, you can't unknow that you're a light worker. You can't unknow that you have a mission. You can't unknow, any of it. Andrew, Nomeo, within you is a peaceful place, a quiet space where nothing is troubling or worrisome. It's where your personal self connects with the truth and awareness of your soul. There is nothing to solve, nothing to predict, nothing to think about. In fact, to attain this peaceful presence, thoughts are not required. The practice of mindfulness calls for you to let go of thinking, let go of striving, and choose to be peacefully present without judgment or analysis. Your soul, Nomeo, is truly powerful. A powerful cosmic energy, perhaps the greatest power you possess. When you release your personal striving and worry, you automatically move into the vibrant, receptive state of trust and of peace. This card is telling you that now is the time, the only time, to choose peace. Let go of judgment, worry, and the need for control. Then take a deep breath and choose to live in your trusting heart. That pervasive peace will bring profound happiness and radiate an absolutely irresistible vibration. So, Nomeo, at first I'm like, well, this doesn't sound like the Nomeo that I know. I just feel like, this is a little bit of a theme from what I was talking to Travis about. It's a little different, but little bit the same too, where it's like you're at a point in your life where you really don't have to think about it, right? You just have to you don't have to. So you don't have to think about it. You're just doing right now. Like you've been successful at achieving goals. And yeah, like you've had problems, you've had issues. But I think now, like what the universe has shown me, just like this alignment, and it's not perfect alignment because none of us will ever achieve that. Most of us, like 99.99% won't. But it's like this value. You're valuing you. And I don't know why that's such a big message that it needs to come through tonight, Nomeo. Maybe there was a time or a long time in your life or something where you didn't value you, or you went with the flow just to please people, or you allowed yourself to be led possibly in a direction you didn't want to go. There's something here that is really like in my face about like, no, like I'm good, more money, more problems. I just feel like this is the universe reinforcing that like you are on the right path. You're in the right mind frame. You're valuing what you bring to a relationship, to your job, to, the world. And, whatever that is personally for you, I see you in the next couple of weeks just in a really amazing flow state. So the challenge here would be not to let anyone pull you out of that. So it's like what I was saying to Travis and what I have to say all the time, not only in stream, but to myself as well. Don't let anyone take you out of that. The longer you can stay in this flow state that you're in, just being comfortable in your own skin, being fine with the choices that you've made, the better your life's going to be going forward. Hi, Karen. I see you. I don't know if it's Kieran or Kieran. I do apologize if I'm mispronouncing. So who's next, Ghost?
Mike J.
Latcho, absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, what were you saying?
I was going to say Mike J, then Scott, then Kira.
Okay, cool. Latro says there's a declining ramp of emotional intensity as we age. Fortunately, the huge events usually don't happen when we're young. I had a few though. Yeah, I had so many. I don't know if it's that they don't happen, or I think we just don't recognize them for what they are at a young age, right? Because I've had a million things happen that were huge. But at the time, I can only look back and understand that they were huge. At the time, I was just going about my life. 10 years from now, I'll look back at my life now. Maybe a certain scent will bring me back, or a certain song, and understand that there were many moments in the last 7 years I've been in this house that were huge, that were turning points that I didn't even understand. My soul was resonating with it, or is resonating with it, but my human brain isn't comprehending right now the importance of this time in my life. And I think that's really important. All right, Mike. I'm going to use Urban Crow. It's a great deck. Blue Crossroads, you're absolutely right. Andrew, be your authentic self, and no matter what, it helps the bad times and enhances the good ones. Absolutely. And it will attract, like attracts like. So it will attract other authentic people. And the thing is, when someone's inauthentic, kindly and within your own comfort zone in that flow state, just don't deal with them, period. We're grown adults. We don't have to really do anything we don't want to. There are a few things we have to do. We have to go to the bathroom, but we really don't have to do anything. Everything we do is based on a choice we made. Oh, all right. Mike, you got community. This deck is how I found out that a group of crows is called a murder. Card number 10. Mike, here in the Seattle area, we have 3 big roosts. The largest, I believe, is the one at the UW Bothell campus. Each of these roosts serves as a community. It is a sanctuary. It is a place for the crows to retreat to in the evening, where they are accepted and comforted. Lean on your community. Lean into the groups of people who you feel most at peace with during times of friction or stress. When you pull community, think of it as a nudge to connect with a group that interests you. Not only will you find new opportunities there, you will become part of a group focused on a similar goal. Community may also indicate that you would benefit from examining your relationships within a group or belief system. Are your goals and beliefs in alignment with the group's philosophy? Do you remain within a community because it is simply a part of your history, but your involvement or participation is limited, and as a result, you feel disconnected? You may need to consider if the philosophy of a community that you no longer connect with is still impacting your decisions or your perception of events. Okay, so Mike, this is a complicated but fairly simple message, right? So the universe is saying there's something here that you might not even realize that you're either believing in or going forward with, or I see it as a mindset, and I feel like it's rapidly changing. Last year, you definitely stood by this mission statement. Just say it's for a job. You stood by the mission statement, you believed in the work, and you worked your butt off. As the year progressed, you learned new things, you moved forward in your life, and suddenly you're realizing that you don't resonate with that mission statement anymore, right? Your life's mission statement, Scott, I think you're next, doesn't resonate with the mission statement of the company you've given X amount of years to. Just for example, you are falling out of alignment with something or someone that was once very, very important in your life. And I feel like that could come as a shock to you in the next couple of weeks, where it's where is this coming from? And it could make you a little anxious. You could have some anxiety over it because you're not resonating with this anymore. It's no longer for you. But I feel like you've been involved in whatever it is. That's why I use work as an example for so long that you can't even comprehend moving on. In the next couple of weeks, look for things in your life or people in your life that you are no longer aligning with, and figure out how to walk away from it or them to make space for things and people that you better align with. I'm going to use political affiliation only as an example. Okay. So say you were on one side, basically your whole adult life, and up until a few weeks ago, something clicked and you did some research, and now suddenly you don't align with that side anymore. I don't want a political discussion, guys. I'm just using an example. But your wife, your neighbors, your whole community, your best friend, all your friends on Facebook, they're all in alignment with the one side. How do you possibly tell them, especially with how divided the country is right now. And that's why I use this as an example, because it is a major thing, like a political, affiliation. That's something you're going to have to figure out over the next few weeks. So once you identify what this is, something that makes you feel uncomfortable when it never used to, something you can't get behind anymore. If you're triggered by the mention of the word politics, Smoochie, then you have more problems than I can deal with, because I can't. All I said was a political party. That shouldn't trigger you, honey, or anyone else. You got to figure out what this is. It's when uncomfortability comes in, and then just, talk to at least one person that you trust isn't going to turn on you over this, and move forward from there. So it is life altering. It is life changing. I feel like your whole belief system around something is changing. Right? I don't know if that makes sense to you, Mike, but that is what I channeled in. It was a lot. I need you, Smoochy girl. I need you to be happy. Sir Mike, aka Thor. You're welcome. Oh, yeah, good, please. Because I'm like, this chick is seriously lost it. But no, you're not wrong, because people will come in, hear that one sentence I said, take it out of context, and be like, I don't like political channels. It's happened. Who's next?
Scott.
Blue Crossroads, I absolutely believe that about her. Scott, I'm going to use the Oracle of the Universe. Present. Oh my gosh, it was so adorable. I was playing school with my little guy. He finally wanted to play school with me, but he wants to play college. So I had to walk in and register. And he has these old laptops that he uses and this random keyboard. We cut the back off. It's all really old stuff, but he loves it. And he has me sit at his little tiny desk. And sorry, my hair is bothering me. He has me sit at his little tiny desk, and he's like, okay, now type in mathematics, college, kindergarten. He has no concept that the two are so incredibly different. He's like, okay, now play Go Fish. I don't know. I guess he had to be there. It was adorable. Do any of you guys remember playing Oregon Trail? The Big M. Welcome. He's only 6, that's Scott, so I used to love playing in school too, but only if I was the teacher. I was so bossy. I had to be, you had to. And I would purposely trip people up so that I could get them in trouble. All right. Scott, you got card number 32, the constellation Crux, which is the Southern Cross, and it's the card of signal. $32. Ensure your instructions are clear. Someone may be getting mixed signals from you. Watch out for red flags and do something about them if they appear. Pay attention. The Crux, or cross in Latin, is a 4-main star constellation, most often referred to as the Southern Cross. Interestingly, the Crux was known to people in the Northern Hemisphere, but over time, the Southern Cross has dipped below the equator and disappeared from the night sky in most northern minds. Of course, it is very well known in the Southern Hemisphere and is proudly featured on the Australian flag. In the cosmology of the indigenous Australian people, the oldest continual culture on Earth, the Southern Cross, was the footprint of a giant wedge-tailed eagle with the pointer stars, the throwing stick used to hunt it. The Greeks initially saw it as part of the Centaurus constellation, and then in 1516, the stars were first described as a cross reflecting Christianity. Eventually, they were recognized as a separate constellation early in the 17th century. Crux is used as a navigational aid in the Southern Hemisphere, like Polaris is used in the North. Alpha and Beta Centauri are of similar declinations and are often referred to as the Southern Pointers or just the Pointers, allowing people to easily identify the constellation of Crux. So Scott, your words of power. I am clear with my communication. All right. Yeah. So this is kind of like a Mercury. I know. I'm going to tell you, Scott, don't worry. I won't leave you hanging. That's why it's called Intuitive Oracle. Yeah, Kieran, you're coming up, honey. You're coming up. If you're talking about a personal general, just email me. I feel like this is a Mercury retrograde moment in that you're not getting your point across. In the next couple of weeks, it's like you have to make sure there's something very important going on here, and it's really important that you are understood when you speak. Your directions are clear. There's a lot of room here for miscommunication in some area of your life that's really important, where it would be like really bad if someone misunderstood what you were saying, right? I do feel though, Scott, like no matter what, somebody is going to mistake or misunderstand something. And I don't see it about so much misunderstanding. I feel like they're mistaking something you're saying, and there's like conflict because of it. Do whatever you can to get in front of this, because I feel like you may not know what it is. It may not have happened yet. Just be really careful, like when sending emails, like you don't put a wrong word in and then it's like misconstrued as something else. Or if you're texting with somebody, I'm seeing it through electronic communication, but also like speaking, right? Speak clearly, say what you mean what you say. There's a situation that may make you very uncomfortable. Maybe you have to make a decision, and it's like the lesser of two evils. The lesser of two evils is still evil, right? But you have to make the decision. Make sure, again, that you're clear, you're concise, and that you don't beat around the bush because you don't want to hurt someone's feelings or you don't want to make someone angry. Sometimes things just are what they are. They are as they are. And if you got to make a decision, make it. That's it. Just be a nice guy, but not a nice guy to the point where you're procrastinating. That will also piss people off. The bottom line is there's a decision to be made. And again, it's like the lesser of two evils. You have to choose one, and it's going to leave someone or, something in a bad way. Be very straightforward. Leave no room for someone to misinterpret or misunderstand what you're saying. That's the big message for you in the next couple of weeks. Mark, love you, sweetie. I'm glad you replayed it. I hope you're feeling well. And thank you for the music. By the way, I did get it, even if I didn't respond. I did say Bush, but I think Kieran's next.
Yes.
Or Kieran, I'm so sorry. If you could write maybe how to spell that, that would be great. I'm going to use Dark Goddess for Miss Kieran. Again, if you are looking for a personal, like, because that's what we call generals, just email me. My email address is there. Kieran. Oh, okay, cool. Thank you so much, because I hate getting people's names wrong. Ghostdragonzw will do it anyway, but he has Tourette's, so sometimes he has a hard time with them. That's no shade on you, Ghost. I'm just letting her know it's not like on purpose. But me, like, I like to have people's names right. Everyone calls me Jenna, Gina, Gemma, Jen. All right, this is for Kieran. And that is absolutely it. Big facts. When I detect BS, I'm polite, but I'll never take you seriously. I'm not rude about it. Thank you, Ghost Dragons. Gemma Jade Paranormal @gmail.com. All right, let's do this. As my daddy used to say, let's do this like Brutus. He didn't do this. He just, no, never mind. Okay, you got Gaia. Creation. Just remember, Kieran, that I'm going to read from the book and then I'll explain what it is. Sometimes the things in this book are pretty harsh, but I always explain them. They're not, you know what I mean? So don't get all, I had someone one time get offended because something in the thing said they were being greedy, but it wasn't even their energy. So Aunt Ed, that's interesting. Okay, Kieran, Makers of dreams, creators of life, same rule for children, man and wife. Intention and focus are the key to live and prosper happily by the power of the dark goddess and me. Protection in place, blessed be. Next is Sandra Heath and Blue Crossroads on deck. Chiron, do you feel like you are in the middle of a storm with chaos unleashing its fury all around you? It's all too easy to get sucked into the dramas and traumas of those around you, whilst others seem to have such high expectations of you. So, as usual, you take care of their needs before even considering your own. Mother Gaia calls to you to manifest all that you wish your life to be and to take care of you. Understand how the elements weave through your daily life and take a good look at everything you have created thus far. That's right. Everything that is happening to you at this present moment has been created by your thoughts, words, actions, and or feelings. Gaia reveals what lies beneath the surface and reminds you that you have the ability to create or to destroy. It's your choice. You're being distracted from your path. Time to focus on what's truly important to you. Be true to your beliefs in yourself. Don't give in to the demands of others. Set clear boundaries. Be responsible for your actions and seize the day and create the life that you want. So I say this a lot, and I love that this came up for you, Chiron, because it's like you've never been in here before, so you've never heard me say it, and here we are, right? The act of saying no in and of itself isn't being unkind. Most of us were taught you have to give someone your last, give someone the shirt off your back. Oh, he'll give you the shirt off his back. She'll give you the shirt off her back. Sometimes that's warranted, but I'm sorry, I'm not giving you the shirt off my back if you treat me like crap. Like, we have to not only set boundaries, anyone can set a boundary. Anyone can say anything. You have to enforce them. Chiron, I feel like there is a lot of chaos and drama around you right now, and the universe isn't blaming you because we all make decisions, and a lot of the times we don't know what the consequences are going to be because we don't know other people's intentions. We don't, a lot of us can energetically pick up something, but we never know really what to do with it unless you have abilities, right? I mean, we all have abilities, but that you're working with, I mean. So you did plant seeds that put you in the situations you're in. Right? Why are you okay? Yeah, because you're like, it didn't look like you were blinking.
My body's freezing up.
Okay, I just want to make sure that's what I asked. Okay, so Chiron, here's the thing. Taking care of yourself isn't selfish. Okay, saying, I'm sorry that I said I'd help you move, but I'm actually not going to do that simply because you don't want to is okay. Right? Telling your significant other that, you're going to go out for a girls' night. And if they don't like that, you're sorry, but you're not doing anything wrong. You're not doing anything wrong by focusing on your own wellness. As long as you're not being mean, unkind, or cruel to anyone else, you have the right to live the way you want to live. People can give suggestions, they can offer advice, but that doesn't mean you have to take the advice. And if someone's going to be mad with you for not taking their advice, maybe they don't belong in your life as it is. I feel like you have got some cleaning to do, some house cleaning, girl. You have toxicity. You have a lot of toxic people around you who all expect you to be a certain way and do a certain thing. And if you say no, you're a B word. And if you, leave a toxic relationship, then, it's your fault. You know what? Let them all think that. And that's a hard thing to come to terms with. I'm not saying this is going to happen overnight, but the universe is saying you have so many opportunities. Your soul's purpose is so much bigger than anything you could ever imagine. The problem is you have people holding you back, and what they're holding you back with is their idea of you, their expectation of you. I remember one time, for example, I said to an ex-boyfriend, I said, you don't really care about me or love me. You love the idea of me. Because men tended to, once they understood I was a human being, I was not just what I looked like. I was a human being. I had my own thoughts and feelings and ideas. They wanted nothing to do with me. And that happened to me so many times. And I feel like you're dealing with something similar. These people or this person have this idea of who Chiron should be, what Chiron should be doing, how Chiron should speak. There's a lot of control issues in your life, whether you're aware of it or not. As long as you're over 18, as long as you're a legal adult and wherever you're from, you have the right to say no, to say yes, to move forward, to step backwards, to make mistakes, to do that. You can do whatever you want. You have to cut out the people who are trying to control you and manipulate you and gaslight you, toxicity, abuse. You're going to have to step outside of your comfort zone. And I would start in the next couple of weeks just by saying no. You don't have to ask permission to do things. If someone thinks you do, don't ask permission to them. Just do it. If there are consequences, then you know that that person doesn't belong in your life. We are not put here to be controlled. You are not on the path you're supposed to be on, the path you charted for yourself in the 5th dimension with your soulmates, because you want to be nice. You want to be kind. You don't want to kind of stir the pot. You don't want conflict. Well, you know what? They're the ones sowing the discord. They're the ones creating the conflict, not you. You're just trying to live your life. If they have control freak issues, that's on them, Huron. Please start saying no and start enforcing boundaries. Not just setting them, enforcing them. Let these people know you mean business. They can be in your life if they want to love you and accept you as you are. If they don't, boy bye, girl bye, they bye, bye bye. Period, as the kids are saying these days. Who's next? Jared, what's up?
Hey, Jared. Hope you're good, man.
Blue?
Sandra, are you here? Sandra Heath?
Poor Sandra. I think she always leaves before she gets read. Did she? I think she got read last week, though.
Okay. Well, I'll put her on hold just in case, because you got people still coming in.
Yep. You're so welcome, Kiran. I hope that resonates, and I hope you come back next week, and I hope you do get a personal. You've got a lot going on, and I will pray for you.
So go ahead and do Blue.
I'll send you positive energy. Blue, I am using the Shaman's Dream. Wait a minute, I think I lost my consciousness in the 5th dimension. But I'm here right now. Oh, wow. You got overflow, overwhelm, and plenty. Card number 43. Guys, please don't forget, donate PayPal, Cash App, or through YouTube. YouTube does take half, but I know a lot of people have it connected. I don't care how you donate. If you have it, please leave a donation. If you don't, I'll see you next week. No biggie. I am trying to collect money for Power Unity right now. So if y'all can do anything, I appreciate it. And for those of you who have in the past few weeks and just in general, thank you. All right. Blue, too much, overwhelm, and plenty. So many good things are headed your way or are already occurring in your life right now, yet you're thinking that they're not possible, that you're not worthy of them, or that someone's lying to you. Abundance is everyone's natural state before we project our own restrictions onto it, defining what it means, who has it, who gets it, and so forth. Right now, take yourself out of your conditioning and look at your life through the eyes of plenty. There's so much beauty and love in your life, opportunities and divine synchronicities destined to support your dreams abound and are lined up for you. Yet it's sometimes difficult to discern it all because you're bombarded with too much information and stimulation, your own thoughts distracting you from the truth that everything's fine, all is well. Sometimes all of this overflow can be overwhelming, and you may find, thank you, Jared. Thank you so much. Sometimes all of this overflow can be overwhelming, and you may find yourself responding with empathy overload. Empathy overload occurs when you tune into the collective angst and fear about impending changes and your own uncertainties. It's unmanageable. You feel like you're drowning in your emotions. It's time to allow yourself to detach, bring yourself back to your life, restore your faith in a power greater than you, and remind yourself to focus on your smaller personal universe, which is much easier to manage. In this way, you know that you are a conduit for life's blessings and can share them with others, making this perception of overflow profoundly positive. So it's like the way you're looking at it. Blue, it's all about the way you're looking at something, right? Or several things, it'll resonate how it does. What overflow is saying is like, maybe you're in a situation where you got exactly what you wanted, or you're on the path to getting exactly what you wanted, but it might be so unbelievable to you because maybe it happened very quickly, or maybe you never actually expected it to happen. And you're basically going to end up self-sabotaging by projecting the negative things, like this isn't really happening, this person's lying, I won't be manipulated. Some things I see you saying in the chat, it has to be about something, right? So I do see here, it's like there's overwhelm, there's plenty, but the overwhelm could be positive or negative, right? It's like, are you looking at your cup, running over? It's positive, you're overwhelmed with, where things are going in your life and a lot of your relationships and all these things. Or are you looking at it as overwhelming? Like, I don't know, things aren't exactly perfect as I'd like them to be. And therefore, I don't know if I want them anymore. I don't know if they're real. I don't know. You're projecting my hair. I hate this. I keep playing with it. I messed it up really bad. You're projecting your own insecurities onto a situation, several situations. And what's going to happen is, I feel like if there's going to be, say with like work, you're waiting to start work, just say, and you keep thinking this job is too good to be true, there's no way. And then, why do I have to wait 2 weeks or whatever? I hate having to wait. And then like your new boss posts about like another new hire, and you're like, you know what? They hired someone else. They've got to be stringing me along. Like, it's like, there's something here that you just can't believe, even though it's right in front of your face. And there's no judgment or indictment on that, because I feel like whatever it is really huge for you. And I feel like it is something that's really hard that most people wouldn't be able to handle. But I feel like the reason that you're having to deal with something that most people wouldn't be able to handle is because you're perfect. You're the perfect person to do that. So try to think positively and not think so negatively of the people around you and the people that are involved. And I'm not saying you're looking at the people around you going, this person's a liar, this person's a cheat, this person, but there has to be something that's making you like reconsider your good luck, if that makes sense. I hope that resonated. That was kind of a weird reading, and I know you have so many things going on. I was trying to like put it to one thing, but I don't think I can. I think that's for you to understand. Who's next?
Ron Forrester, but I don't know if he's still here because he's not answering. So go ahead and do Heather B. And if he pops in, that's fine. And then after you do Heather B, and if the big M wants one, we need to slide Nut Slap in so you don't have to do his timestamp since he's here.
So Heather B, the big M, Nut Slap.
Right. And then Jared if he wants one.
Got it.
Timestamps.
Who's timestamp tonight?
You got Art, Candy, B, and Divine. And Nut, you had Nut Slap, but
I'm not going to do KC tonight. I think
I figured that. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't ask her, but I don't think it's the right time. Okay, I'm sorry. One more time. Who am I reading for right now?
Right now, Ron, are you here still? Just go ahead and read for Heather B. I know she's here, right?
Whether I just do a timestamp just in case, because I know she has school or schoolwork or something that she does, and I support that. So I'll give her a timestamp every week if she wants one. Okay, I'll do that. And then after her, you do Nut Slap. Then Big M never answered, but if you're here, let me know if you want a card. Big M, last call. We are ending.
Yep.
Heather, I'm using Black Moon Lilith. Oh, Nut Slap. You're just a little sweetie poo. Yeah, thank you. I really do like the balayage. I'm going to try, like, if I can get other colors too, but I just love pink, and I don't think it looks bad on me. Thank you. I appreciate that. This is definitely my new favorite. I've got to buy a couple more. You know the plain long pink ones I have? I have 6 of those because they get, like, raggedy. So I brought a wig brush, though. I know y'all are so interested. Appreciate you, Ghost Dragons. Ghost Dragon is awesome. Blue, yeah, that's what I was doing today. Walking the beach is my temple and it calms me. I feel like you just need to learn to trust a little bit more. Trust that the people around you are around you for a reason, that they have your best interests at heart. And maybe try to understand that maybe the people around you, some of them are like maybe feeling the same way, like, this isn't really real, or
questioning why you want the job in the first place, and probably going through their own stuff. Everybody's going through something. If I had wigs, I'd use a shop bag. Gemma looks great. Any hair color? Thank you. You guys are so sweet. Watch the shorts, please. They're almost more important than the pre-recordeds. And the reason is because the shorts are getting 40,000, 30,000 views. And they're what's bringing a lot of new people into this stream. Watch them. Leave a comment. Even if Alexander Unverhollen, he's from Germany. He just leaves a gemstone diamond on every short that he sees. And it helps my algorithm. And I notice those videos. And I know you've been doing it. Ghost, you always do it. Blue, a lot of you are already doing it, where it's like, okay, now the video is being pushed out and so many new people are seeing it. Oh. Well, Jared, I'm glad you said that, because I was planning on flirting with you. I'm not flirting. It's not my problem if everything that comes out my mouth is smooth as butter on a roll. What was that meme? Yeah, right. I'm like the most awkward human being in history. I don't know how I ever had kids. Seriously.
That is a lie, and she knows it.
I really am. All right. Heather, you got Ashira, Mother of the Gods, card number 20. Really powerful card. Got you. Got you, Blue. You mean taxing? Jared. That is Mary Magdalene. We don't want her. Okay. Heather, Mother of the Gods. Ashira was the ancient divine feminine goddess, Mother of the Gods, whom the ancient worship as the Queen of Heaven. When her oracle card shows up in a reading, consider matters involving the mother, home, and your family. Not everyone has a nurturing and healthy experience with maternal energy in their life, so if this applies, the shadows around this can feel very difficult. Issues of fertility and children can arise. It's time to face what has been hiding beneath the surface. You also can be changing your home, renovating, or taking part in an ancestral healing through a spiritual modality. Ashira was the ancient Semitic goddess who was the queen consort of the supreme god El and fertile mother of 70 gods. She was worshipped alongside El, but ultimately her presence led to suppression, and patriarchally based monotheism took hold. Ashira is an example of how powerful divine feminine figures have been demonized by male-dominated religious patriarchy. I hate when the author of the deck gets political, gets religious. Like, I didn't get this deck as a religious deck. Even the demonized Queen Jezebel worshipped Ashira, having dedicated pagan rituals and ceremonies to the queen goddess. Not only was she a goddess and a deity, but Ashira was also the name for sacred ceremonial poles or trees used on ancient pagan altars. It is theorized that they were used to worship and venerate the goddess. Nurture yourself, heal, and tap into the wisdom of the supreme goddess. So this is the only queen goddess I've ever heard of, and like Hecate is the only witch goddess, right? We all have our place. So Heather, I feel like there is some turmoil in your home life. I feel like something or someone finally has to be confronted. And when I say confronted, I don't mean there has to be this big confrontation. Just an acknowledgement of knowledge. So say for a year you've known that, I'm just making this up, your son was stealing money from your purse, and like you couldn't prove it, but you knew it. You were waiting for tangible proof. Now is the time to just say, I know what you're doing. You need to stop and put your foot down. A cheating spouse or partner definitely could be a third party situation. But I feel like if that it were what it is, you know. I'm not saying you have to have, again, this big showdown, but I feel like the acknowledgement of the issue needs to come up in the next couple of weeks, because you are learning, growing, healing, changing so fast that it's like you can no longer play pretend in this lower vibrational state, Heather. Your voice needs to be heard. Latro, thanks so much for coming in and hanging out. 3 hours and 19 minutes. I love it. Thank you. So your voice needs to be heard. You can't play pretend anymore. So even if you don't come right out with it, you need to start acting as if it's already been aired out. So I'm going to use cheating as an example because it's an easy example to use. Thank you, Dimensional. I appreciate it. Everyone new who subscribed, all of you, make sure you're subscribed. So say you know your spouse is cheating. Just say. And you've known for a long time because of your intuition. You know for a fact, but you have no tangible proof. Plus, you can't leave now anyway because of here, there, or otherwhere, whatever reason. Things now have changed between you two because you know something that they don't think you know. Maybe you don't want to bring it up, but you should start acting as if you have a cheating spouse, right? The loyalty, the faithfulness, the everything you're doing for this person who's not respecting you. So it could be an employer. It could actually be your mom, grandmother, maternal figure, even a daughter, I would go so far as to say, but I think more of the older generations. There is a lot of conflict here that, and like, you don't usually, you're just like, well, that's just how mom is. Say it's your mom. That's just how my spouse is. Like, no. When do you get to be just how Heather is? When you start using your voice, okay? Enforce boundaries, talk about how you're feeling, and if people don't like it, too bad. And that's hard to do. It's very uncomfortable. There's like these awkward moments, but I would rather have a 3-minute awkward conversation than have to live the next 5 years in this turmoil and drama. AK Morningstar, welcome. Who's next? Nutslap?
Yep.
I'm going to use the wisdom of the House of Night. Jared, I mean, I think it would be equal, to be honest. From what I've seen in my experience, it's definitely equal. Women play just as many games. I was just using that as an example for her because I do see someone cheating at something. Either somebody's, taking extra money from her or cheating on her, or somebody's doing some manipulative BS, and she knows all about it. Heather knows. She's just not saying anything about it yet. RJ absolutely loves church. He can't wait for Sunday to go, and I love that, and I'm going to be cultivating that. Now that Sunday isn't my only day to work, we're going to be going every Sunday. It's just too important to be lazy about. I don't want to change the subject of the chat. What is the subject? What's happening? Ooh, Nutslap, you got the card of honesty. Card number 26. You are nothing if not honest. I'll give you that. You're a little sweetie poo. You're another one that pretends to be a tough guy. Did I tell your secret? Sorry. I know all of your secrets. I'm kidding. Yeah, I go to it. It's church, but it's not. It's different. It's not what you're thinking. They actually live stream on YouTube. All right. Nutslap, my darling, you have chosen the symbol of clarity and true communication. Now is the time to be absolutely honest with yourself about what you want, what you're thinking about, what your motives and real feelings are. Honesty is the way to truly step into your power. When you choose honesty above all else as your goddess, I will send you courage to do what's right. This is also a time to demand honesty and integrity from others. You have a right to get clear messages. There is the greatest freedom and power in telling the truth. So this is another card about people around you not being as honest as they should be. So it's okay to, keep some things about yourself to yourself, right? To keep things for yourself. I believe I have like 1 or 2 people that I tell pretty much everything to, because it's hard to be vulnerable. But I don't feel like this is you. I feel like you are honest, and I feel like you're honest to a fault, to where like you can come off as rude sometimes. But honestly, I would rather that than someone just playing nice in my face because they don't want to offend me. Damien's father, when he passed, I was crushed and devastated because the one thing about him was he wasn't afraid to hurt my feelings, right? As friends who had had a child together and had known each other since we were like 12, I would be like, he would just be like, that profile picture, you can do better than that. Or like, that wig, girl, you know, like he wasn't afraid because I knew that his heart was in the right place, that he loved me. So anything he was saying to me was for my own good, right? I feel like that's how you are, but I feel like there are people around you who are just playing in your face so that you don't get upset, or so that you don't. I actually feel, I just saw like work. So it may not have to do with your job, but I do, Jared, but I do feel like it has to do with like you're doing something for somebody and therefore they're just like going along with you for now, even if they don't agree with you. And it's someone very personal in your life. And I don't know if you have that many people. There aren't that many people in your life that I know of. You're kind of like me, where you keep like a close-knit online circle, but there's definitely, it could be someone coming in too, who's trying to like manipulate you to their own gain, but it's very subtle because they do like you. They just see that you can do something for them. And if they act the right way, do you know what I mean? I don't know. It's very weird. I don't think this person has come into your life yet. I feel like it's someone you could be meeting in the next couple of months. Just be very wary, particularly of males, but it could be a female with a lot of masculine in her chart, where like, you know, something's kind of off about them, but they seem kind of cool. Just be aware of being like manipulated into doing like a crime. I don't know. What is this? What is this? Doing crimes? Or just, okay, in the next couple months, Nutslab, watch who comes into your life, watch your crew, watch who you associate with and hang out with. Hang out with the garbage, you start to smell like trash. I don't know what the heck that was. It's definitely, I don't think it's happening already. I feel like it's coming in. So be careful who you spend your time with. Physically spend your time with. I don't think it's so much happening online or like through text or whatever.
Okay. Jared is next. Morningstar, would you like a card, or are you just checking things out?
Yeah, let us know because we're going to end.
Well, you got timestamps. You only got 2.
Yeah. Nuts up. That was weird. I don't know what I saw you like doing crimes. I don't know. I don't know.
I picture this guy running around with a mask on that has a shirt that says nut slap.
What they showed me was you in a car. Because they'll show me what I resonate with, right? So they showed me like you in a car, like it was very strange. Just don't do crimes. All right, thank you, Morningstar. Okay. This is Jared. I'm using Ancestor Spirit. Don't do crimes, nuts. Excuse me, sir.
I had to sneak one in sooner or later.
Nuts up, yeah. Okay. All right. A bacon and eggs. I love it. All right, Morningstar. That's okay. All right. So this card has been coming out a lot, particularly in this stream and in personal readings. So it's respect your physical body, detox, rejuvenate, and relax. Jared, it's time to pay more attention to your physical surroundings, both your body and the environment where you live and work. Your mortal body is just as important as your spiritual energy. It's important to look after the vessel that carries your soul. Consider how you contribute to your own health and well-being. Also, look at the energy where you live and work. Create a sacred space so you can go home to relax and recharge. Attend to your physical, emotional, and mental space. Like a buildup of dust, toxins, thoughts, ideas, and feelings can accumulate and start to dull your energy. Create a bubble in your routine where you can process and release stress, emotions, or physical impurities. Sweat it out in a sauna or with a run or walk in the fresh air. Notice what you are consuming and limit the processed foods, chemicals, or negativity you're taking in. A cleansing diet or skin treatment will have benefits for your whole life. I don't think this is about a diet or a skin treatment. Jared, I feel like you're in a space where you're ready to like do better or like be better in some area, or maybe have better or have more. But there's this part of you that is rebelling against it. So you're kind of like fighting with yourself on at least one thing, right? So I'm just using this as an example. Please don't get offended. So like, say you live with your parents. So you want to like move out and, you know, start your own life. But like, there's a part of you that's like, but it's so easy to just stay here, right? I can save money and I don't have to pay for anything. So it's something like that, where like, you know what the right thing to do is, you want to do it, but you're like kind of taking the easy road in one area. Now there's another thing here that I'm seeing with your physical body. I don't know what's going on. I don't know when the last time you've been to the doctor was. I'm seeing some area maybe with like your stomach or your head. There's something, it's not major, it's not massive, but I feel like if you start getting aches and pains, make sure that you get checked out. I told Blue Cross for this once, where it could end up being like your arm hurts a little bit and you just let it go. And like 5 months from now, you there's something crazy wrong with your arm that like it could have been prevented. There's something happening here that could be prevented. If you have any kind of addictions, bad habits, compulsions, hurts, and hangups, make sure that you're actively seeking to kind of detox from, release those things, release them out into the ether, allow, the energy of the universe to swallow them up and turn them into something better, something good, and push them back to you. You deserve better. And at least one area in particular, it's like you're settling. So again, it could be your where and how you live. It could be your romantic, it could be your job. Like, it could literally be anything. Stop settling. You're capable of so much more. I don't know what that is, but you got it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I never know what kind of example to use. So I don't ever want to offend. I never mean anything offensively. That was just the best like analogy I can come up with. Example. Who's next?
I'm offended. I'm leaving.
If I lived near Hollywood, I would have been famous already. I have been practicing the Chicago dance on YouTube. Not the short I did, but there's an actual dance. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. They both. Oh, yes. It's this whole thing. I'm practicing it. You guys are going to see. It's going to be amazing. I hate my feet too, and I'm a Pisces. You're so welcome. Thank you. I'm sorry, Stephen.
You're on timestamps. Candy's next.
All right, Miss Candy Girl. Let's use Goddess Power. The gun, the gun, the gun. You both reach for the gun. Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, yes they both. Oh yes, they both reach for the gun, the gun, the gun, the gun. I actually bought Chicago, the movie, today on Amazon Prime. All right, Miss Candy, Candy Girl, you are my world. You look so sweet. I'm here right now. Oh, wow. Oh, I'm sorry I sound so terrible, Nutslap. You got Hera, the card of alliance, but it is in the reverse, or I should say, and it is in the reversed. Candy. Come on. There's a feeling of unease that sets in when you're in an unhealthy power dynamic with another person. As a result, you may compete with and blame others for your discomfort, just as the goddess Hera did when faced with evidence of the many betrayals of her husband Zeus, king of the gods of Olympus. Like she did, you might even stand up for someone who abuses their power to avoid seeing your own role in perpetuating the myth that you need to be a certain way to be accepted or valued. Stand tall, Candy, and choose collaborative partnerships with deep mutual respect and encouragement. Don't chase what's popular or who will make you look good. That won't last. Look for equality and see yourself as worthy. Ask yourself, who would I be without this dynamic person, situation, etc.? Your alignment task is to open your eyes and choose another way. Belong to yourself and align with the great goddess pulsing through your heart in the whole world. She is the one with the real power. It is time to cut some cords, girl. Break some ties. Candy, I don't know who this is in this situation, but somebody has some control over you. And we talked about this earlier with someone else, right? I feel like you aren't really connected right now spiritually. Something has kind of knocked you off course. Someone, in fact. And I feel like you are going along with this person because they promised you something, whether it's they promised you love, they promised you a family, they promised you a job, they promised you somebody, either it happened already or it's going to happen in the next month or so. Somebody's making false promises to you to get you to follow along. And I feel like the longer that you stay around this person, the more you're going to understand that they were lying and manipulating you, but the harder it is for you to pull away. Listen, the best thing you can do is don't follow others. Be yourself, stand firm in your beliefs, stand firm in who you are, enforce your boundaries, and don't let anyone make you feel bad or guilty for just being you. I hope that that's someone coming in. If you're in a toxic relationship in any area of your life right now, it is time to start, again, energetically, emotionally detaching and moving forward. This person and or these people are only holding you back. You know, when we get to the end, the readings do get shorter. So try to come in next week and maybe I'm losing my voice. Thank you, Mike. Who's next?
The last one is Divine, and I'm going to go ahead and look at it.
You're going to what?
I am leaving.
Why?
We're done. Do you read? So Divine is next.
Okay, but I don't want you to leave. I feel very strange. I don't even like doing interviews without you in the comments or the chat. I feel like Gone with the Wind Oracle. That would be amazing. They probably do make it. They make I have the celebrity oracle, but they make like old-timey celebrities. So it'll be like Elvis, James Dean. I think they're on my deck too, but I think you know what I mean. I love Clark Gable. I had the biggest crush on him when I was younger. All right, Divine, I'm using Moonology. Oh, wow. I was a dancer. I was in gymnastics and I was a cheerleader. It's been a long time. So it's taking me some time to learn this 59-second dance, and it's driving me nuts because it's a pretty simple dance. It's just, I'm so uncoordinated now. All right. Divine Empathic. I could not agree with this card more. Last quarter moon in Taurus. Be proud of yourself. And I know you are proud of yourself. So this makes me wonder who is here who is in your space that's trying to make you not proud of yourself. Blue, I didn't know that. That's amazing. I can't wait to meet her. Divine, do you really believe in you? No one is perfect, but you need to believe in yourself and what you have to offer. Be proud of yourself. You came to this earth with a purpose to fulfill. Drawing this card suggests that there are a lot of unresolved self-worth questions that need to be answered before you can start to create the life you know is waiting for you. Being real is the key here. Don't pretend for appearance's sake. You're more than allowed and encouraged to be your real self. In an age where people pretend to lead a perfect life, there's nothing more impressive than true authenticity. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. Instead, start to recognize your own talents and assets. You're a manifestation affirmation. I am a unique and beautiful soul. I can barely speak anymore. So, guys, please donate if you can. This is work for me, even though I love it and I love you all. Divine, I feel like there's someone in your energy. Actually, there could be someone in your energy that's trying to like make you feel bad. Hey, Cowie, thank you for how much you've achieved, or make you feel bad for maybe leaving them behind, or, you know, living your own life and not checking in with them every 5 minutes. But I also feel there's someone here that is very, very jealous of your accomplishments. I see someone just seething, right? And you know, this is a lower vibrational person. I believe this person did some damage and harm to you, and they're having a hard time watching you not be under their thumb, not be under their control, not listen to, like, that you're not listening to them. You know, so, you know, when you're in a physically abusive relationship, you can't talk to anyone of the opposite sex. You can't talk to anyone of the same sex. For me, it was like if somebody called on the phone, I'd be tackled to the ground because I was signaling to someone outside to come get them. Like, it was craziness that was going on. And then once you escape that, they get madder and madder and madder. That's what this is. And it could end up being, Divine, potentially dangerous. Okay, so be on your guard. Keep doing you. Don't give up. Guys, please donate if you can. I need, you know, money for Para Unity. And I know that sounds really bummy, I do work, but I don't get paid a lot. And most of my money comes from donations right now. I am still not contracted. Callie, would you like a quick reading before we go? I'm going to give him another minute and then I'm going to bounce on out. Dimensional, if you knew where I ended up because of that, in a basement for 4 months. All right, guys, I got to clear the smoke out of this room. I've got to get this wig off and I've got to eat. I had a bowl of cereal and a slice of apple pie today. All right, 2 slices, but whatever. Oh, thank you, Nutshub. You're so sweet. I love you guys so much. Cowie, let me do Cowie because Cowie is a regular, so we don't turn regulars away. I'll do this real quick, and then I'm just going to be like, guys, support the shorts, watch the pre-recordeds, please. Even if you don't, if you don't have the time to watch them, just play them in the background. Leave a comment, leave an emoji. It doesn't matter as long as you're interacting with the work that I'm doing. I'll make more than 64 cents off of every pre-recorded video, which is what I'm making now. And the rest is donations. So, all right, Cowie, I'm going to use Oracle of the Hecatean Path. This is a more feminine deck, but it is definitely calling to you. New England, thank you. Oh, you got the full moon, card number 30, and it is the card of illumination. All right. Cowie, the beauty of the full moon energizes and motivates us. We can learn much when working with the lunar energies and employ the fullness of power to materialize our desires. This is also a time of pure adoration for the goddess, bringing clarity and evoking powerful dreams. Your psychic abilities may be stronger at this time or indeed need development. Hecate shines brightly on your endeavors, granting wisdom and revelation. So, okay, whether you want to work with the moon or not, do a grounding under the moonlight, bare feet in the mud or grass, whatever. But Cowie, this is more in your situation, talking about something coming to light. But I feel like it's something you've already kind of known for a while. Like your intuition has been telling you either something's off, something's wrong. I don't think this is good news that's coming out, but you haven't said anything because either you haven't said anything because you don't care enough about it. It just sucks that it's happening. You haven't said anything because you have no tangible proof, or you were just giving this person enough rope to, what themselves, right? Everything is going to be revealed. You could also be dealing with a Cancer. You could be dealing with a Pisces. This is big Cancer energy here. Someone has been keeping something from you and it's going to come out. Remember to don't step outside of yourself. Even if you get angry, don't respond in a negative way. You could even ignore it because that's kind of what toxic people want. They want you to yell and scream and get mad. Like, how dare you lie to me? I feel like you've already come to terms with whatever this is anyway. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, you will in the next couple weeks. Just move on. You deserve a lot better than whatever this is to begin with. If somebody's going to lie to you about anything, then they're not worth being in your life if you're a truth teller, which I feel like you are because you're also a light worker. Love you guys. Check out the video Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern. As long as it uploads this week. I set it for a premiere and it never premiered, so I had to go redo the whole thing. That was totally on YouTube, not me. So I'm aiming for 11 a.m. Eastern. Support the shorts. Donate if you can. Love you guys. Mucho bunchies, and I'll see you next week. Hopefully Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern for afternoon talk, but we haven't set that yet. Yes, please do, Cowie. Bye-bye.